got Whitey and Jay today. And Jay bedecked in King's splendor with a Feel the Roar shirt, King's cap. I know there's ongoing chatter, Jay, about, Kuminga and Westbrook. A lot of people nationally in the media are saying, the Kings don't know what they're doing. Looks like you are fully behind your team today, sir.
Yeah, no reason not to be. Even if they're not accomplishing some of the goals that you want or some of the goals and aspirations that we're reaching for as Kings fans, you still got to represent. No doubt about it.
Jay, you've been in radio
too long.
Roughly how many years? 30 years?
About 15.
15?
Yeah.
Have you ever worked with somebody? I know you worked on a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked
16 now, man.
I bet it is, at least. Have you ever worked with someone who started the show with like a trademark saying or greeting? Have you ever heard those guys?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Because I don't know that many. I know, what's the guy, Mad Dog, who goes, "Good afternoon, everybody."
Yep.
Which is like, really?
Yeah.
And then Brandon Tierney, when
1983, you need to get rid of that.
Right.
I get you.
Brandon Tierney, when I was at the station in San Francisco, he did the afternoons with Eric Davis.
Okay.
And he would start every show with, yo, let's go.
That's the East Coast in him.
Yeah. And I don't think he still does that. But it was funny because he did that, tried to make it his trademark. He's a really good guy, and he was always really good to me, and he's very successful. So I'm not making fun of him here, but it was just kind of funny. After a few months, they took their show on the road, as all the shows at that station did. We went to Indianapolis for Radio Row in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So they do their first show there on Radio Row, and Brandon Tierney's like, yo, let's go. And Eric Davis and everybody going, wait, what are you doing? You got to do your thing. And he didn't want to do it in front of everybody.
Oh, man. He running. He's scared. He was frightened.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't blame him. He was just a little reluctant to really lean into it.
No. That's how people know. People know who you are and what your call is.
Yeah. And I've always thought those are kind of not for me. I've never done one, but it almost, if anybody has an idea for one, I'd almost just love to do it one time just to see
how it goes.
What Kyle Draper does when he comes back.
That'd be
tomorrow.
Interesting, yeah.
So if you have a good idea for one, let us know.
I had one show, the Two Live Stews, who were they used to come on Cold Pizza, ESPN Cold Pizza.
I remember that. Wasn't she used to work here, Dana
Jacobson?
Yeah, she used to be on that show.
She was on that show.
Yeah. And Jay, what's his name, was like the first host.
Jay, I'm blanking on it, but yeah, that Jay. Yeah. But yeah, he was Crawford.
That sounds right.
I think it's Jay Crawford. I can't remember, but yeah. So they used to be on every Monday and Tuesday, every other Monday and Tuesday. They were based in Atlanta. I was in LA, and I produced their radio show. But when they got hot, blew up, they had to go to ESPN. So they would allow me to come to ESPN because I was assistant producer. The main producer, he was an OG, but he was like, man, I'm not doing that. I got, at that time he had kids, like 7, 8, and 6 or something. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll go every other Monday, Tuesday, first class. Love it. Right. But
to Bristol?
Yes, to Connecticut, which was middle of nowhere, by the way. Just
I've only been to Connecticut one time, and I wasn't Bristol. I know everyone says there's nothing there.
No, it's green. It's a lot of green. When you're going down the highway and you're coming from New York, going to Rhode Island or something, it just feels like you see nothing but trees.
So I went to Hartford once with the mountain lions. And it was kind of cool.
Yeah,
but I don't hear anything good about Bristol.
Yeah. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's the campus and nothing there, right? But they had a whole intro. If anybody remembers the Two Live Stews, it was the Public Enemy, one of the songs, Welcome to Terradome. And it literally was about 90 minutes, 2 minutes long. So, yes, I've seen the small part of it, like you said, a call, and I've seen the long part of it, which was 2 minutes. And people loved it.
Yeah. I guess it was Robin Williams in Good Morning Vietnam, right? That's how he started his radio show every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have any ideas on that, mainly just to prank Drapes a little bit, let us know. You don't really hear those much anymore, Jay. I think they're kind of from a bygone era. Those sign-on, whatever they are, trademarks, catchphrases.
Yeah, I think you hear them discreetly. I think people have tags. That was for sure in music. Your producers or beat makers, they have tags, but they're discreetly, you see it here and there from TV and media personalities. At this point, everybody, if you're on radio, you can do TV, and TV, you probably could do something in the newspaper.
Right?
Yeah, you have to. Multimedia journalist.
Yeah.
But so I'm pretty sure, I'll say this. It happens more than you know. How about that? If you're really sifting through the situation, you can hear people like, oh, yeah, I got it. I hear your tag.
I think Alan Stout should have one. I don't know what it would be, but I'm going to work on that for Alan.
Okay. You're going to ghostwrite?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah. Jay, we are in the dog days, are we not? You got the hot, crazy days. I know it hasn't been that hot yet. It's supposed to be warming up today. But you got, lots of Kings talk still. We got in the NFL. The 49ers are hitting now. Camp has started. Big week in baseball with the trade deadline coming. So the fortunes of a lot of teams could change drastically in a few days. And we'll see what happens this week. It seems like kind of a slower period, but I feel like things are building up. The fact that the 49ers are in camp and we're getting closer to the NFL season, I know we got a ways to go, but do you get a little excited about that, Jay? They're hitting now.
No.
You're not excited about they're hitting, Jay.
Nah, September. So when you get excited. Preseason does nothing for me. Preseason football is the worst.
I know, I agree, but it's just, you get the taste of it a little bit.
Nah, but that's coming from me. Yeah, that comes from me. Again, football is not my favorite thing. I'm a college football guy. So I like the NFL. I don't absolutely love it like most people, though. So, yeah.
Mac Jones had a big day today.
Did he?
Apparently he
did.
Man,
who said Mac Jones had a good day?
Our buddy Matt Barrows.
Did he?
Put the numbers, and I'm not going there. I'm not going to give you his training camp
Matt ain't got
numbers.
nothing else to write about.
All right, 12 for 16. But Brock Purdy and his wife, they had the baby.
Right.
Yeah. And the baby had a really good APGAR score, and people are saying, it's just because of Shanahan's system. But which I don't think is fair at all, by the way. That is way out of bounds. Yeah. But so Mac Jones was the guy today. It's weird now. To your point, here I am trying to get excited about football.
Yeah.
It hasn't really started yet. Matthew Stafford has a bad back. And,
Jimmy
G. He's exactly. Jimmy G is right now. Jimmy G is the guy.
I saw something that said Devontae Adams tried to get away from Jimmy G with the Raiders to only find his way back to Jimmy G starting again.
Yeah.
Damn,
and the coaches they're trying to say all the right things. McVay saying we love Jimmy G. He's a proven winner. And hey, let me tell you, he wants Matthew Stafford out there as badly as anybody.
Sure he does.
Again, no, he does not.
Nah, he doesn't. Come on, man. Jimmy G wants. Every ball player wants to play.
Players want to play.
Yeah, you're spot on. I understand. And, I see the Scott Hansons, I see the Steve Weishes, I see a bunch of names. I'm just throwing out names, football guys that I follow or see come across my timeline of some sorts. And it kills me. Only 100 days away from football. Only 150 days away from, I don't give a damn.
That is a long time.
Like, man, y'all ain't got nothing else better to do. And now, unless the NFL Network is saying, hey, fellas, y'all better tweet this. That's what's on your mind? Like, nah, man. Like, I love sports. No doubt about it. It's taken me, I tell people all the time, baseball has taken me places I never would have thought I would ever be in my life. I've gotten paid to play baseball. No doubt about it. But with that being said, as much as I love it, there's still other things to do, still other things to accomplish. And so when it's baseball going on right now, I'd rather sit down, and this is saying a lot, I'd rather sit down and watch a soccer game.
Really?
That means something than talk about somebody in some pads and shorts.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm actually being sarcastic, but you know where I'm going.
I was going to say, do we need to take you in and just have somebody look at, see how you're doing and everything?
Nah,
but I get your point.
Yeah, there's got to be other things to talk about in the fall. And this is the other part. And this is why we created the summer sermons, situation is there's also life going on, right? There's other things to talk about in sports, in life that are parallel to sports as well. So it kills me when you see people, 200 days away from football. Man, that's a whole half of a damn year, man.
Uh-huh.
We got nothing else better.
But they're in paths, Jay.
Man,
they're practicing.
Barely.
The 49ers are bringing in Eli Apple, Jay.
All right, man.
It's happening.
Sure.
Eli Apple, who was hated by the Giants, his teammates there, other teams. I think he's alienated at least 3 fan bases. But he was at what, the 10th pick?
Yeah.
I guess it
Ohio
shows
State,
the 49ers
right?
with Renardo Green.
Or is Alabama? Where'd he come from?
With Renardo Green hobbled, the 49ers need some help there. So Eli Apple, I think you were right the first time.
He's an Ohio State guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't excite you?
No. It excites you?
It excites me that we're talking about it. That is coming. Like I say, you get going with the dog days. Next thing you know, it's almost August, Jay. August starts rolling around, and you know how it is in the summer. Time sometimes passes a little more quickly, and then all of a sudden, it's a pennant races, and then the preseason games start. You're right; the preseason games are kind of a slog, but they mean, especially now that we only have 3, they mean football's almost here. It means, so right now the dog days are here. Enjoy the rest of your summer, but it's all coming. Now, if you are weary, and I understand and respect where you're coming from, if you grow weary, of all the training camp talk, you must be really getting tired of all the Kings talk right now.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the same things over and over and over.
Repetitive. I'm talking about broken record, 100%. Kuminga, Russell Westbrook, Ben Simmons. It's the same 3, assailants. Feels like every day. And what gets me is, no disrespect to reporters and insiders, because they're doing their job. This is what they're getting paid to do, especially when it's off season. There's not a lot of things going on. So I'm not attacking the insiders and or reporters who's doing their job, because again, they're getting paid for that. But you can only say Kuminga has talked to the Kings so many times. And we live in a society, we live in a space now where you put that out. Someone, Anthony Slater, friend of the show, puts that out. Hey, Kuminga spoke with the Sacramento Kings brass. And then all of a sudden it's just, it's happening, it's coming. It was
you're right.
Now everybody's reporting on it, and it's like,
Yeah. The same thing happened with Dave. There was it Bovada came out with the odds. Team most likely to end up with Russell Westbrook, and the Kings had the best odds. So Dave responds with a post, says, they should be. It's probably 80-20 that they're going to get him. So now it's like, what is it? Did it happen yet? And to your point, no, it just means this is kind of the way things are trending. It's probably going to take a while. I do think it's interesting, though, that here we are looking at the fact that according to reports from reliable sources, the Kings are looking at Jonathan Kuminga and they're looking at Russell Westbrook. That's interesting. I don't know where it goes or when something's going to happen.
Yeah.
The Westbrook thing, especially, Jay, to me is a little bit of a head scratcher, but I think the Kings still have a number of paths they can traverse here.
Yeah, you're speaking on it. It's July 28th.
Mm-hmm.
And basketball season starts the last week of October.
Yeah.
How about we get the folks got back to school season? People like yourself who's super excited about guys playing in draws and pads.
Yeah.
Shouts out to y'all. Like, there's so many things that have to happen. Labor Day, there's so many things that have to happen before we even get close to, an NBA season, with the understanding that anything could change any single day. But I'm not going to grasp on straws every single day because someone said, or Bovada came out with some statistics, or Anthony Slater said Jonathan Kuminga had a conversation with the assistant general manager of the Phoenix Suns.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are supposed to happen. Those things, and matter of fact, let me tell you, people listening, those things happen every day.
Yeah, but Jay, Kuminga met with the Kings and he's open to maybe coming here.
All right, man.
Hello. You should play the sounder for that.
Yeah, I should.
All right, you're looking for football stories that do interest you. Let's see. I think I may have found one because Jay indicated to me earlier today that he found this interesting, and I agree with him. How about, Jay, the Christian Wilkins situation?
Ooh-wee.
Interesting?
Very much so.
Yeah, Christian Wilkins released by the Raiders Thursday, and he was recovering from a Jones fracture, which he suffered in his left foot last October. What? Yeah. So it looks like the Raiders voided the remaining $35.2 million in guaranteed money left on his contract on June 4th. There was a report that the Raiders felt he needed another surgery. He did not want to have that. So the Raiders felt, according to the reports, all right, well, then you're not doing everything you need to do physically to play for us. So goodbye. But Now there's a report Adam Schefter went with that Christian Wilkins kissed a fellow player on the head and the teammate took offense to it. The incident, not the sole reason Wilkins was cut. Wilkins has been recovering from the Jones fracture, but last week's incident happened inside a team meeting room. One source told ESPN the interaction was playful, but the teammate didn't see it that way. What the heck's going on, Jay?
Yeah, you know what's very interesting is when you start to if you really take a step back and look at it, that's like an HR thing.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely
being in someone's space, and and so as much as you, on one hand, you're gonna have some people like, hey, listen, he's just playing around, don't take it too serious. But then these are the things that we go into these meetings and have all staff meetings about HR situations where someone can take a gesture, super serious and make them uncomfortable. And then now, we have a big ordeal. And I think that was part of it. Now, who knows? The Raiders could just be leaning on the fact he's not trying to get it done and we're going to go ahead and cut him. But I find it very interesting that all of a sudden we're starting to hear some stories about this situation and it happening.
Yeah, somebody wants us to hear about
this. Why? You better believe it.
Yeah, to your point, a complaint, according to ESPN, was filed to the Raiders Human Resources Department, which investigated the incident, a source told Schefter. But we all know how it is. If Christian Wilkins was healthy and productive and he did something, kissed somebody on the head, and that teammate took offense at that, if he was playing well, the Raiders would find a way to make it work.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah.
If that is Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
And he
slapped somebody on the booty.
Yes. Good game, champ.
Yeah. And the teammate took offense.
They're going to figure it out.
Yes.
Let's have an all-staff meeting. Bring in HR, head HR.
Right.
Matter of fact, let's bring in a third-party consultant who can come in and make sure that we're on our P's and Q's. 100%. Christian Wilkins was he was someone that could be cut. He was someone that was making $10 million, and they figured we probably could free ourselves, and he's not producing in the way we thought he could. Oh, by the way, this situation happened. But I'm with you. If he's cut and it's all about what we've heard from the team, the PR staff, not doing the best. He's not putting himself best foot forward for him as far as getting healthy on that Jones fracture, then that's all fine and dandy. But somebody definitely picked up the phone and said, this happened.
Yeah.
And this happened during a meeting. And we want you to know about it.
Right. Right. Why would you want that? Would it be because in case Christian Wilkins fights your claim that you cut him for health reasons, that you have something else, another card to play? I don't know, but it's just one of the things you wonder about, because this doesn't sound like much, Jay. And I know in today's world, it's like zero tolerance. And, if the HR is involved, it is serious. But, this is pro football. If you can play, they're going to figure it out.
Oh, no doubt about it. People have done 10 times worse. We know that. Yeah. 100%. But I think you're spot on in the form of we're living in different times. You, Whitey, of being young, cut from a young cloth like yourself, you've seen and been around and heard and have experienced quite a bit when it comes to sports. Everything from playing to coaching and being around it for your job, nonetheless. You can't tell me things have changed now from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s to 2000s to even now. Some people was oversensitive. Some people, were hypersensitive. However you want to label it, it's just the way we're living right now.
Right.
And, Christian Wilkins, for whatever he did do, because we don't know. What's crazy is somebody probably going to produce some film of it. You know how this goes.
Right. Cameras everywhere.
Everywhere, except for where they need to be. That's what I always say.
Right.
So, but it's an interesting situation because I think it calls into just where we're kind of going down is where's that fine line now when it comes to inside locker room teammate? Because I can't remember, correct me if I'm wrong, Whitey, have you heard of anything like this? Like, I can't really remember of a player, as Schefter said, and we play the sound, of being released because of this situation.
Right. And again, just to be clear, according to this, the incident was not the sole reason he was cut, sources said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just remember, Adrian Beltre used to have a thing where if someone touched him on the head, he did not like it. He went nuts. And so it's baseball.
Yeah,
so
don't
his
hit me on the helmet.
They did it all the time.
Right.
Yeah, but he didn't go to HR.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying whoever went to HR here shouldn't have. I don't know what happened. But to your point, Jay, no, I don't recall ever hearing anything quite like this.
And read that one more time, because you said the sole reason.
Right.
Which means it is a reason. It wasn't.
It does definitely imply that.
Yes. This was part of the reason why we released Christian Wilkins.
Yes.
So, and that the very first thing I thought about was, if they released him, and everything I saw and what you read is, it wasn't the sole reason, meaning there was reason, there was cause of this situation for him to be let go. First thing I thought is HR situation. It's gotta be a human resources issue. And you better believe this may set the precedent for moving forward. And that's the conversation, is just what you said, a pat on the tailbone.
Oh, yeah. If teams were going to enforce this, and I think, by the way, can't a company say, hey, we have zero tolerance, or we will deal, they can be more tolerant, whatever they, there's no law that if someone files a complaint against you, an HR complaint, that we have to fire you. I don't believe that's a federal law or anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But, in the world of pro sports, I don't even need to say it, Jay. Can you imagine if we had HR violations and complaints in professional sports?
Yes.
They'd have to cancel games.
And that's why and that's my question. That's why I found this interesting, is the Raiders have the press release came out and said that wasn't the reason, but it implied as it was one of the reasons.
The incident was not the sole reason Wilkins was cut, sources said.
So if we're really taking a step back and looking at it, it kind of sets the precedent. If a player
it could
can, because we know how the law works. How many times you watch a show, or you watch court show, you watch something, they're referencing something from 1937, Gleason versus Ohio, and they're going back to something. If this is something that you can reference, and this could be the start of something where it'd be interesting. Let me ask you something. What if a player feels like they're being blackballed, feels like they're not getting the proper time, feels like they're not getting the opportunity to come in and prove themselves in camp, and all of a sudden their star quarterback taps them on the tail and say, he makes one play, taps him. Let's start to get down there.
Yeah.
Because this is the conversations we're having in other parts of our world and other parts of our society.
Yeah, I was looking at it the other way from the club's standpoint. I could see how teams would look at this and go, ooh, so if we have a guy we don't really want to pay, all we got to do is get somebody to file an HR complaint, and we got grounds to nullify his contract? As you say, we don't know what happened.
A conversation to have too.
Yeah, and it could have been much more serious, and whoever was offended, when someone's offended by something, it's one thing I've learned, if someone's offended, then that's legit. You can't say, well, I didn't mean to offend you. It doesn't matter. If they're offended, no matter what your intent was.
Very true.
And we don't know what happened.
Very true.
But still, this has some interesting ramifications, to say the least.
You better believe it. I think it sets the precedent for a few things. Just what the side of the ball I'm looking at, and the same thing for you. Team could literally cut a person if someone, hey man, why don't you go over there and say you feel uncomfortable because they're sitting 2 feet closer to you than normal on the bench.
Yeah, my coach was cursing, and it's a hostile work environment.
Yes,
I'm suing. I'm filing a federal labor relations board complaint.
People have done less. People have done less, man. So it's a wild box to open. Let me just tell you that. If I'm the Raiders, HR, press release, whatever, I'm coming out. That had absolutely nothing to do. I'm going to make sure it's clear in red, bold letters, italics, whatever I have to do. Whatever Adam Schefter and whoever else that's covering the Raiders, Tashawn Reed and everybody else is talking about, that had nothing to do with us letting him go. They haven't done it.
Right. I think Pete Carroll's only statement, and I don't know when it was relative to this becoming public, but he said, everybody here, you're either in or you're out. Everybody. I don't care who you are. You're in or you're out. So everybody's here, and the implication there is clearly he wasn't on board with what we were doing.
Yeah.
So
that's football talk, though, ain't it?
Yeah, I know.
And that's also coming. I love Pete Carroll as much as he was a Seattle Seahawks guy. I think he's a guy who has reinvented himself and is still staying up with the Joneses, is the phrase we like to use. But man, that's old football talk too.
I know.
It's a different world out there these days, man.
He's an old football guy.
Yeah, you better be careful.
And he was a 49er before he was.
Of course he was.
Yeah, he's from San Francisco.
Come on now. You know he's from the Bill Walsh tree, baby.
Meanwhile, the A's are back in Sac, and they got a lot to celebrate. We'll look at all of that when we come back. Jay and Waddy today. Drive, guys. Sacktown Sports.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Summer's flying by, and that back-to-school checklist, it's growing fast. New backpack? Check. School supplies? Check. Dentist appointment? Let's fix that. Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics is making it easy to cross dental checkups off your summer list fast, with priority scheduling for new patients and kid-friendly care that makes them smile. It's one less thing to worry about before fall. Call now or book online at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com, because healthy smiles should be the easiest thing to check off your summer list.
The Hagen Oaks Cutting Edge Putter Fitting Studio offers you more technology, more choices, and more service. Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. With $30,000 worth of state-of-the-art technology ready for your fitting, Hagen Oaks will help you make your best putting stroke while finding the best putter design, shape, hosel, length, and loft for your game. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for more.
Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise Guys at Bell Brothers. AC acting up? Call Bell Brothers. Need a new system? Get $2,500 off, 0% financing and no payments for 12 months and approved credit. Just need a tune-up? Get an $87 AC maintenance with same-day appointments. You're on time, quote up front, and fix it right. No surprises. Call Bell Brothers or book at thenosurpriseguys.com.
Save $12,000 off MSRP. Every Silverado half-ton 5.3 at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. $12,000 off new Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. Excludes work trucks.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Come on, Jay. I've been dying all weekend waiting to hear what you had to say about Nick Kurtz and the game he had on Friday. One of the most prodigious offensive performances in the history of the game of baseball.
Yeah, straight up.
What is going on with Nick Kurtz?
Man, that dude, he got fiery hands right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his bat is scorching, no doubt about it. Just a baller.
Yeah.
Showcasing his talent.
Mm-hmm. Short time ago, it looked like, well, Jacob Wilson's going to be the rookie of the year. Maybe Nick Kurtz might give him a little competition. And now unfortunately, Jacob Wilson. And it's true. His numbers have tailed off since he came on Alan Styles' show. That's probably coincidence, right?
Nah, what? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fact. You can
coincides
look
with it.
Yeah.
Huh?
You could say that his numbers had already started to, they were going to level off a little bit. It's like when we had Ken Korak on and Kyle asked Ken Korak, well, what could he do better? And Ken Korak said, if he did anything better, he'd be hitting 400. But he has, so you knew things were going to level off a little bit.
True.
Yeah. But Nick Kurtz with that game Friday. That's also the first time in the Ace history that they swept a 4-game series in Houston. And yeah, the Astros used to be in the National League, so it doesn't go all the way back. But still, that's impressive. And then, Jay, I don't know how much of the Hall of Fame stuff you saw, but I know CC Sabathia from Vallejo in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
The former Athletic and a member of World Series winning team in 89, the Cobra Dave Parker.
Yes.
In the Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, he was not with us to celebrate.
Yeah. I watched CC's speech, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much just locking in for a Northern California boy, supporting and showing some love and got some ties to the family. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing to see CC get in. It's got to be a beautiful thing to see a Valley Joe representation.
It's great.
Jump in there. Is he? I've heard you say Vallejo's Mount Rushmore. CC on that Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, absolutely.
Without hands down.
Yeah.
I
there's a few. It's like, gee, I don't know, but he's
on there. Yeah.
I remember the first game he pitched for then the Indians.
Yep.
And they were in Oakland. It's like I drove down by myself just to watch him pitch.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people from Vallejo there. And he didn't have a great game, but he did have a great year that year. He gave a great speech where he talked about the importance of women in his life.
Yeah.
And the women in all our lives.
Yes.
Talked
absolutely.
about how his mother and grandmother, how they literally saved him, he said. And his wife, how she does so much for him. So that was beautiful. Ichiro was kind of funny. It's the first time publicly that I know that Ichiro has spoken in English. He's always been able to, apparently, to speak pretty good English.
Yeah.
But typically, he gets an interpreter and he speaks Japanese. But he spoke English yesterday.
I want to say hiding behind that, but he has definitely utilized that source a while. But yeah, I've actually heard him speak English quite a bit, but maybe not, as you said, up to that form, especially if that's what you're reading, or maybe to that magnitude where he delivered a full-on speech. I did not watch Ichiro's speach.
I just saw highlights.
Yeah, okay, got you. Yeah, so I'll get to it. It's on my to-do list, when it's all said and done. But no, shouts out to all the Hall of Famers that got inducted. They definitely deserve it. Dave Parker was an absolute animal, absolute animal, or I should, as we know, the Cobra. He was an animal in what he did, and it was potent for. There was like 3 or 4 years, Dave Parker, man. He was one of the best hitters you could absolutely, put out there in baseball.
When I was a kid, I didn't know, exactly everything I was seeing then, but he was as good in his first, 5 years? Certainly the first 4, 75, 76, 78, 79, first 5 years. He's as good as anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah. And he could do everything, and that arm was incredible. So that's great that he's in, and he had written a poem that his son read, which was incredible. We also had Dick Allen get in.
Legendary Dick Allen.
Back.
Yeah.
You know what I remember about him? Today would be Vida Blue's birthday.
Okay.
Vida's no longer with us, but I remember talking to Vida a couple of times, and he said, I couldn't get that guy out.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Dick Allen, the great Dick Allen. Also, Brad Lidge.
Yeah.
Incredible thing about Brad Lidge. He told a story yesterday. I didn't know about this, Jay. He was one of the greatest lefty relievers of all time, obviously. He's a Hall of Famer. Threw very hard. He started throwing left-handed because when he was a kid, he broke his right arm.
I've heard that before.
Wow.
Yeah, he didn't want to miss, so he figured out how to start throwing left-handed. Yeah, Brad is an animal, man. He at one again. I think when you look at, and I'll go back to the Dave Parker, he didn't have all the numbers that you look for, like 3,000 hits and 500 home runs. I believe he finished with 338 or 339, something around there. He was around 2,400 hits, something like that, 2,200. I should probably look it up just to make sure 100%. But for what he did, and that's what I say, because he was a 7-time All-Star. Yeah, he had 339 home runs. Yeah, he had way more hits than I thought, 2,700, batting average of 290. But he missed on a lot of numbers that I think we coincide with the Hall of Fame.
Right.
But for again, like 6-7 years, he was unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to give him love on that. Now, of course, he went on to play, for the A's. A lot of people remember him for the Pirates, but there was, when you do what you do the way he did for whatever 5, 6, 7 year period, you have to acknowledge that, especially when you're at the top of your game within that 5 or 6 year period. And so, he didn't get in for the modern voting system. They got in on the senior voting system,
classic era voting or something. Thank goodness he got in.
And that's the point. Shots out getting it in. I remember him with like the Blue Jays and the Brewers early 90s. I didn't obviously get to see Dave Parker when he was really in his heyday. It was at the tail of his career when I was coming to 5 years old, 6 years old, 1990 and 91 and stuff. So, but I'm glad he got
that A's team that won the World Series.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that was great to see that. Also, to your point, Jay, you talk about the counting numbers, the traditional counting numbers, like 3,000 hits, 500 home runs. It's one good thing I'll say about analytics.
RBIs.
And a lot of people will say analytics are terrible, and certainly they can be overused or used improperly. But a guy like Dick Allen, it wasn't until we had analytics that people were able to go, you know what? Okay, he didn't have 500 home runs. He didn't have 3,000 hits. But you look at some of these numbers, some of these analytical numbers, and he was better than you think. And I think that's a good thing about analytics. You can use that as a window to hold up and look at older players and go, ooh, all right, he was doing stuff kind of like Hank Aaron that we didn't realize at the time. So I'm glad that Dick Allen got in. And then tonight, of course, the A's are back home, and the Giants, Jay, they're starting Carson Whisen on his major league debut, a guy who's been pitching well for the River Cats, and the Giants with some injury issues. So a River Cat making his major league debut tonight for your Giants. For the Giants.
Okay, there we go. I was waiting for it. I was like, he must be talking to Kyle or somebody back here. Shouts out to the young player getting his opportunity. He will be doing it in a major league ballpark, as we've had those conversations here with the Sacramento A's.
Kind of a soft landing spot, maybe, because they're playing the Pirates. Nothing against the Pirates; they're a big league team, but I'd rather start against them than the Mets. Who just
that is to be determined, I think. All love to the youngster getting his opportunity, man. Beyond that, I ain't really got nothing else to talk about when it comes to the Giants. Happy for him. There you go.
And the A's back home, they've been playing better baseball. They just
swept
had
that
terrible stretch where they lost 20 or 21, whatever it was. And, you don't climb out of that hole, but they're playing better ball. I'll be interested to see. I know everyone's tired of talking about this. I'm just curious to see how they draw with a team like the Mariners coming in tonight when they've had so much going on. I'm wondering what kind of greeting Nick Kurtz will get tonight.
Well, what's today? Monday?
Yeah.
Probably not that good.
Right. But no matter, even if there's not a lot of people there, I'm sure he's going to get a great ovation from whoever is.
Well, he should.
Yeah.
He is in fuego right now. He is the best hitter in baseball. I was talking to Ramsey today. He's like, he's 27 for 48. And I was like, wow. He is literally the best hitter in baseball at the moment, the last couple of weeks, last week and a half. We've heard this. We knew this coming in. He was a top prospect in baseball. He was one of the top prospects for the Athletics. I don't know if we expected to see him this soon. We have. He's done some good things up here, with the big ball club, and now he's turning it on. At this point, he looks to be a major leaguer for the rest of his career, and good for him. It's time for him to, get his shine on. I just always go into my athletic mode, defensive crutch, I guess, my fetal position when it comes to athletics is, first of all, if they are here in Northern California for me to root them on, then I'll be a Nick Kurtz fan as long as that I'm giving that opportunity. If they take they take their circus, their traveling circus. I was going to call them something else. I had to catch myself. You call it, they take their traveling circus to Las Vegas, then I'll be from afar. I think I'm out. So hopefully we get an opportunity to see him as long as possible in Northern California. For the Athletics fans who believe in the patch, believe in the logo, I think he's going to be here for the foreseeable future. We know that means for the next probably 4 years or so, depending on what the Athletics do about trading.
Yeah, there were some interesting things going on social media relative to Nick Kurtz. You had an A's fan or two, like an Oakland A's fan pointing out, like, you see what this guy's doing? This is incredible. And then some other Oakland A's fans going, don't talk about them. And the guy was like, okay, I want them back in Oakland, but are you seeing what this player is doing? It's incredible. I'm not going to ignore it. And I know, getting back to you, how you're a connoisseur of the leather, did you see what Jose Iglesias did yesterday?
I did, yes.
I've never seen a guy go behind the back with a glove toss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen it before. You know, you have to go through it, but no, I mean, you got to give him his love, man. He just showcasing that raw hide, brother.
Yeah.
You know, anytime you're rocking with that Billy goat, that leather, it's a beautiful thing. I love defense. I love to see guys showcase defense. Well, I have a running joke, and this is the truth. You really pay attention to people in baseball, the stars, the superstars, they're all offensive driven. They're the guys that, chicks dig the long ball. There's a saying for a reason. They're high average hitters, which is not saying much these days. That's like 290. But they're home run guys, they're on base guys, they're RBI guys, launch angle guys. They have a little pizzazz. Very rarely do you see a superstar from his defensive paralysis, what they do defensively. You can really go back and count throughout the history of probably on one hand how many guys have been considered a star by their defensive play. Ozzie Smith, the Wizard, maybe Omar Vizquel. As much as I joke about Greg Maddux, he's got a room full of gold gloves, even though I say he ain't earned all of them,
Yeah. It's a good thing he didn't pitch for the Giants, or you wouldn't even speak his name.
Come on, man.
No, my dad was
hate towards Greg Maddux. Ain't never hurt nobody.
Years ago, my dad was in the Candlestick Clubhouse. He told me the story. I don't know that I was born yet. And he said he was talking to a player, and the player was like, you writers don't pay enough attention to defense. All you talk about is offense. It was Roberto Clemente.
Ooh,
yeah.
Really?
Yes. So the A's have young players. They also have young broadcasters, and one of them made a mistake this weekend, and we'll see how bad it was when we come back. It's Jay and Whitey today. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all three if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A+ Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal. You should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Sponsored by the California Army National Guard and Hot Valley Brewing. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Honda Summer Event and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. See all our specials at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Just a matter of how far.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Thanks for the kind words on the chat. Someone also wanted to know what was going on with that bird. Seekins for Whitey. Give us an update on the bird whisperer. Yeah, the bird, Jake the bird. I fed him yesterday. He's still been around. And we had last Saturday, a week ago Saturday, my wife's family came. We had like 25 people at our house. We had family from New Orleans, and Albuquerque, and where else? Arizona. So it was a big gathering. And sure enough, that bird flew down right in the middle of it. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" Landing on somebody's head. Causing a little bit of a panic.
Hey, he's a family member now, brother.
I know.
You didn't pre-warn him, let him know.
We did let him know.
JB was part of the family.
There was a warning, but then he comes out of nowhere.
He's aggressive.
Not so much aggressive, thank goodness, but he has no qualms about coming out of the middle of nowhere and landing on your shoulder or saying, "Give me some food."
Huh?
So yeah, fed him just yesterday. He's doing fine. But we were talking about the athletics, and Jay, here are the numbers, and bless Kyle Ledbetter. He sent me these numbers.
Man.
We talked about how Jacob Wilson was setting the American League on fire, starting shortstop in the All-Star game for the American League. But then he went on Alan Stiles' show, and the numbers have fallen off. How dramatically? Jacob Wilson stats before he went on Alan Stiles' show, 83 games, 336 batting average, 9 home runs, drove in 42 runs. His OPS 853, which is very robust. After the interview with Alan Stiles, 9 games, Jacob Wilson, 105 batting average.
Yeah.
1 home run, driven in 3 runs. That's after being on the Alan Stiles show.
Man, that's horrific.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's clearly cause and effect.
Yeah.
There's no other explanation.
I got you. I will say this. In defense for Allen, as you said, he had to equal out, meaning J-Dub had to equal out. Like he was going to come down a little bit.
Right.
So hopefully this is just a couple of weeks that not the best J-Dub that we're getting to see. But after that, if it's a month and a half, and it's just kind of floating.
But Jay,
you're not coming in like Jake the Bird, Jay the Bird.
Yeah. If he went from 336, he goes on Allen's show and he's hitting like 250 for a while. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But 336 to 103?
A buck.
Come on, Allen.
I'm gonna show him a little grace today, man. Normally, I don't mind jumping on somebody's spine with you, but
you're probably
I'll show
right.
him a little grace.
You're probably right.
We're gonna say it's just a rookie wall.
Uh-huh.
And after that, he'll figure it out.
Yeah. You just don't want that going around the A's clubhouse.
Yeah, very true.
I'm gonna go on Alan Stiles tomorrow. Oh, I wouldn't. You know what happened to me when I went on that show?
Yeah, that's cold game. That's how Allen get mistreated in the game, huh?
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, he did also, Jacob Wilson took a fastball off the wrist. That probably could have something to do with it as well.
Yeah, that might definitely have something to do with it.
So huge weekend for the A's. They got a lot of young players. They've got some young broadcasters as well. So Friday night, Nick Kurtz goes off with 4 home runs and 6 hits and 6 runs scored, and he drives in 8. The next night, the onslaught continues as the A's beat Houston again. Of course they did. They swept the weekend series. But Chris Carey, who's, I think he's 25 now. And of course, his great grandfather was Harry Carey. If I have that right, he's Harry Carey's great grandson.
Yes.
So the whole family,
Chip Carey is his father.
Yeah.
And that'd be what Skip is his father.
Yeah.
And then Skip is the
son
of Harry Carey.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly. Okay. So this is baseball royalty, but Chip kind of lost one in the lights.
No, Chris.
Yeah, I meant to say that.
Yes.
You're right.
Chris, Skip, Chip is
doing Cardinal games.
Yeah.
I heard him yesterday, too. He had the call on that Iglesias play. Chris Carey, Saturday night with he lost sight of this home run by Lawrence Butler.
1-2 pitch. High in the air, deep to right. That ball is foul. Or gone.
That ball was absolutely launched. Law Dog posing him up at the dish. He knew it off the bat. It was just a matter of how far. He knew he got it. And the reaction from Cam Smith in right field, I think, tells the story just how far.
Yeah. So Chris Carey silent there. He lost sight of it. He's been very apologetic, totally lost it in the lights. No excuses, unfair to Butler and our fans that I messed it up as badly as I did. This is completely and totally on me. Wish I could have it back, but that's baseball. I apologize. We'll be better tomorrow. You know what? Okay. That happens. Yeah. He keeps posting about it. He obviously feels very badly about it. I'll tell you one thing, Dallas Braden, and I've interviewed him a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
What a gracious guy he is to work with, right? Because he picked his teammate right up.
Yeah, he did. And he actually threw it a little bit of when I first heard it, I said, did he throw a little friendly fire in there? You would absolutely could tell by Cam Smith, the right fielder, how he didn't move. But maybe he was just trying to, throw it out there in the form. Probably because you know how it goes, Whitey. Chris Carey is like, I absolutely have no clue where that ball is at.
Yeah.
And then says gone, and no doubt that was a producer or there are spotters in baseball. So that was either Dallas or someone that's in the booth with them.
Chris, that's a home run.
Yeah, it's a home run.
I'm going to say it's a home run.
Yeah, 100%. Talk back button.
Right.
And then Dallas he's like, oh, man, probably a little embarrassed. Dallas definitely picks him up. But I found it interesting when he talked about Cam Smith didn't even move. I wonder if he poking fun at him.
Yeah, Johnny Doskow had the radio call, and he was all over it.
Okay.
So, yeah, clearly, and Chris Carey said he's not making excuses.
No, he didn't.
I think, if anything, he's being too hard on himself, but he just clearly lost the ball. I don't know, Jay, what would be the best move there? Might it be, hey, what happened, Dallas? I lost it. Wouldn't that have been better than guessing that it was foul?
Yeah, I think you say, I don't see it. I lost it.
Yeah,
and I've lost it in the lights, people. I'd probably go that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I foul unless he thought he saw something from his standpoint as vantage view where it's like, something in the air looked like a foul ball, but Bird, I don't know what he was seeing because that thing was far from foul.
And
let alone
it's especially the way the team is playing. It's forgotten. It's like, okay.
Oh, yeah, man. Tripping
yeah.
Like that.
But he obviously is he's beating himself up over it. I think Doug Glanville also reached out to him on social media and said the greatest players lose the ball in the lights sometimes.
And I was going to say that is everyone who's ever played any sport has lost the ball in light here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball, who's been at their local park, at their local elementary school, local school, in the gym, something, you've lost it. Football, same thing. Baseball, no doubt. It happens. It's part of it. You know what this is? It is the result of social network.
Really?
Come on, man. You know some of the Bill Kings, guys like that have made tons and tons of mistakes.
Yes.
We don't get those bad highlights. We all get the great calls.
Mm-hmm.
On a daily, they made so many mistakes. It's not even Harry Carey. And come on. They made some Michael Sterling. So many different.
John Sterling.
John Sterling. Yeah. What did I say? Michael? My Lord.
John Sterling had the famous one where he didn't know what happened. And Susan Waldman said, he's like, and it's a drive and it's caught. And she said, it's a home run. And he said,
yes, that's right.
What did I do wrong?
Right.
Poor guy didn't know what happened. What did I do wrong?
It's part of it. We all make mistakes, man.
Yeah.
So give them love. It's social network.
Yeah.
They run with it.
And there are many things that we watch our sportscasters for and listen to them. I don't think perfection is anything we necessarily are looking for. You know, obviously you got to be competent, know what you're doing, but mistakes going to happen. Lost the ball in the lights.
We all make mistakes. Wrong name, different number. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does make me a little nervous when you hear it because clearly he didn't know what happened and he didn't know what to say.
Yeah. Which is, I think that's a learning. It'll be a learning point for him.
Oh, yeah.
To just say, and I've realized this, and I'm pretty sure you could even attest to this. If you don't know, then say you don't know.
Right.
If you're not 100% sure,
right,
you could throw out a guess, but let me make sure.
Where is it? Dallas, I didn't see it. It's better than it's foul or gone. Oh, well.
What'd he do?
1-2 pitch. High in the air, deep to right. That ball is foul. Or gone.
We got to see what Drapes thinks of that.
Because somebody told him.
Yeah, you're right.
Dude, that was right center field almost.
And then when they told him, he got it out there, but you could tell he's like, what? What just happened? Where is it? Uh-oh. He had nothing.
Dallas should have said, nah, fella, that thing is in right center field.
Yeah.
Ping ponging around, man.
Yeah.
Like he could have brought, Dallas handled it well.
But Jay, you said it wasn't a fence scraper.
No, it was a bob. It was a bob too. And that's why I said Dallas Braden picked him up, but the way he was talking, man, he might have been making fun of him too.
Yeah.
It's like, you would know that was a that was a no doubt shot.
No question, that was a no doubter. Just looking at the outfielder, which is what you should do when you're announcing games. Few have been impressed by the Kings offseason so far. What's that about? We'll examine when we come back. Jay and Waddy Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, by his standards, Lawrence Butler isn't having the kind of season he expected, but still, Lawrence is just 25, and he's only played the equivalent of 2.5 seasons in the minor leagues. And now he's on a pace to become the first athletic since Coco Crisp back in 2013 to go 20-20, 20 homers and 20 stolen bases. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Summer's flying by, and that back-to-school checklist, it's growing fast. New backpack? Check. School supplies? Check. Dentist appointment? Let's fix that. Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics is making it easy to cross dental checkups off your summer list fast with priority scheduling for new patients and kid-friendly care that makes them smile. It's one less thing to worry about before fall. Call now or book online at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com because healthy smiles should be the easiest thing to check off your summer list.
Hey there, this is Dolly, coming to you straight from Nashville.
It's Stand Up to Cancer!
Join us Friday, August 15th for one night only and for one goal only to beat cancer. So stand up with all of us and let's save lives together. And if we join forces, we can end cancer forever. Tune in Friday, August 15th at 8, 7 Central on ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC. For more ways to watch, visit standuptocancer.org/show.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Okay.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Kyle Draper has a day off. I believe he's in San Diego, California. He should be back with us tomorrow. So it's Whitey and Jay today. Thanks for being with us. Great to be back on the text line here, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Just wrapping up a few thoughts here on our first hour before we get into what people think of the Kings offseason. From the 209, you can tell Dallas Braden has been in that spot before. I don't remember him as a broadcaster being in that spot, but he definitely was quick to recognize what was going down there. Somebody else actually, it's the same 209 number. This is a great idea, Jay. We pointed out that since a certain A's player went on the Alan Stiles show, his numbers have fallen off precipitously. So from the 209, can we get Luca on the Alan Stiles show?
I like it.
There's a great bit for you, Alan. You and Kyle just ask people, who do you want us to have on the show? Given that,
put the Alan Stiles hex on them.
Yes.
The curse.
Yes. UPS Chris going to see Kurtz and the boys tomorrow night for the first time in Sac. Got hooked up with tickets, so looking to have a good time.
That's what's up, UPS Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've always wondered. People like the Folsom Mikes and UPS Chris and All Red Everything used to rock with us. They were drivers, stuff like that. I don't think Folsom Mike is. But what route you think UPS Chris does? Just take a wild guess. Route? Yeah, like where you think he's at located in the city? Where you think he for UPS he's really rocking?
Oh, clearly North Highlands.
Ooh, I was kind of going that way too. I was gonna say I think UPS Chris is like Antelope.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walegra. You like somewhere over there.
I definitely get that
felt
sense.
like, you know.
Don Julio.
Yeah, Don Julio, that boy. I'm with you on that. It's funny because I was going that way too. UPS Chris, man, don't tell us because I'll announce it then. Folks be looking for you.
That's right.
Don't need nobody pinpoint your stuff.
And from TC, this is TC. I'm with you, Jay. Wait till I call. I got something on the Niners. So he's with you. He's like, he's with you. He's like, there's nothing going on, but he's got something on the Niners. So.
Yeah, it's football season. I actually got an insight to what TC is going to talk about. I agree with what he's going to
really
when he calls back. What he's going to talk about.
Oh, all right. Well, that's something to look forward to.
No doubt. Put it on your calendar, baby.
Yeah. By the way, TC's ahead of the game. He's a big flag football player.
Yes, he is.
As is our friend from Vacaville,
Javier.
Pardon me, Javier. I lost your name for a minute. Yeah. And, flag football now is really taking off. Those guys are in on the ground floor.
No doubt. They should be out there trying out for the Team USA. I don't know if they got tryouts or not, but hunt them down, baby.
Yep.
I
think they both can make it.
What's my, I forgot our quarterback's name from Louisiana. He's like, I should be the quarterback over Pat Mahomes.
Willie Totten.
Yeah, that boy. Who knows, right?
Wasn't Willie Totten Jerry Rice's quarterback at Mississippi Valley State? I don't know.
Man, the name sounds familiar.
As far as the Kings go right now, I don't think it matters, but you may have noticed that there's a wave of anti-King sentiment resurfacing once again when it comes to those who are evaluating at various publications and blogs, teams off seasons. Michael Pina writes a piece here at The Ringer, and he talks about some of the offseason moves, and this is one of his sections. He says the NBA's era of incompetence may be upon us. He says if the phrase 1 is random, 2 is a coincidence, and 3 is a trend is accurate, the NBA may be entering its very own amateur hour. You know, it's one thing for someone to say, oh, I gave the Kings a low grade, but to say the Kings and the Suns and the Pelicans have spent this summer behaving with very little self-awareness, concern, or understanding of what it takes to build a sustainably competitive basketball team, that's something else entirely. He says, by stuffing out the delightful light the beam era with one dysfunctional move after another, the Kings have gone out of their way to remind a long-suffering fan base that their past traumas very much still exist. This has been, you know, a lot of fans or media types looked at the Kings like, I don't know, they did some things. Everyone loved the draft picks, and now all of a sudden everyone's like, oh boy, they don't know what they're doing again. They're incompetent. Most recently, says Michael Pina, they traded Jonas Valanciunas, a solid backup for Dario Saric, a flimsy 12th man, so they could cut enough salary to afford Dennis Schroeder and a logical fit for a team that already has Malik Monk, DeMar DeRozan, and Zach LaVine on it. Sacramento might have the worst defense in the league and should be obligated to free Domantas Sabonis before his prime wastes away. What a mess. End quote. That seems to be the prevailing sentiment now amongst NBA writers. And it's almost like they all got together and came up with this because there's recurring themes in here. It's like, oh, they got rid of Valanciunas so that they could bring in Schroeder. Schroeder is not a good fit. Poor Domantas Sabonis. They're going to have to get rid of him at some point. I do think it may all be a little premature because I still think the Kings are, as we've discussed and will discuss, and as we've discussed to the point where, you know, Jay and many others get a little weary of it. There are a number of things they're looking at, but it's interesting to me how all of a sudden the Kings went from, I don't know about that roster, great draft, and now like they're incompetent.
That's the reputation, right?
I think so.
Yeah. We talked about Michael Pina and a few other Sam Queens and a couple other guys last week. I reached out to Mike, nothing back yet. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
You know, we are hunting.
Pina? I'm sorry. I called him Pina.
Yeah.
Pina. Thank you. My apologies.
It's we're hunting and nothing's come back this way. So we'll see. He's joined us before. I know he ain't running too much from the smoke. So we'll see if we can try to grab him. But I think it's just a reputation. You know, one of the articles we talked about on top of the Michael Pina was Sam Quinn's. And he from CBS, I should say. And he had the Kings front office ranked as the 28th front office in the league. And a lot of it was old things that had happened and talking about like Vlade's tenure and, you know, prior to that and the bad draft picks that they've missed on. And so it's just really about your reputation. And I talk about this quite a bit in other parts of, you know, when we talk sports and talk life. Reputation means a lot, Whitey. It truly, truly does. You know, check your background file, man. You don't really have to go far to check a person's skeletons in the closet. And when you talk about the Kings' reputation, we know it's not very honorable throughout the league, throughout NBA circles. We know it's from one tenure, which was late 90s, early 2000s, and a few years sprinkled in between there, you know, a few in the 80s, 96, you know, post Artest and Brad Miller, 05, 06. Like there's only a few Beam team. And so when you really look at your reputation, as scattered and sprinkled as it is, it doesn't surprise me to continuously hear that because it all comes back to this. We're not a destination of many NBA for NBA media. They don't come here on random Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays to watch a game. It's normally they're in town if they're playing the Warriors or playing the Lakers or it's a national game. You see, you know, other NBA media that you normally don't see throughout the year, where on any given night, you may see someone Philadelphia versus Chicago on a Tuesday night in Philly, right? Because they got Embiid and Ty Maxey and Paul George. And so when it's really all said and done, part of it is lazy journalism. That's what I like to call it. Lazy media responsibility. You guys ain't even sliding this way to even get the good inside information and really get down to the nitty gritty. The second part of it is you're watching from a bird's eye view. And that's cool because again, the reputation is very bad for the Sacramento Kings. And the third part, which number 2 leans into it, is this. Until you start to put together some wins and change the narrative, you're going to consistently get this.
Yeah, it is.
So it's not surprising.
It's incumbent upon the organization and the team to change that kind of narrative. Keith Smith, we've had him on the show, and I think he's a very, not only is he a respectable source, but he's very even-keeled and he's fair. He was talking about the Kings withdrawing a 2-way qualifying offer for Isaiah Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
That made him an unrestricted free agent, and he signed a 2-way deal with Houston. Keith Smith said, I've learned for my own mental health to stop trying to figure out why Sacramento does a lot of the things they do.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people that cover the NBA at large are looking at the Kings right now and saying they don't know what they're doing because the moves they've made this offseason, maybe they work out, but it is hard to figure out, okay, what are they doing? They had a nice draft, but assuming they really do have interest in Westbrook, okay, they needed a point guard. They felt they needed a point guard. Domantas Sabonis said they needed a point guard, and you get Dennis Schroeder, and then you're going to get another aging point guard. So I admit some of the moves have been a little head-scratching, and I think that's why we're where we are with so many national media members. They're just looking at it and going, okay, nothing's really changed there.
Yeah.
We'll find out if that's true, but that's the way a lot of people look at it right now.
Well, the one thing about it is, social media dictates that things, and we're living in a microwavable society that dictates you got to change as soon as you hit the door. So as much as Scott Perry's been here for 3 months, people ain't trying to hear that. And for good reason, because we've seen, especially around here in Sacramento, regimes and tenures don't last that long anyway. So you definitely got to come in and get it smoking, as quick as possible. But there is something to be said in the form of it's tough when you're new to the game, and albeit he had a 3-month stint or tenure, a few years ago,
sure,
5-6 years ago, whatever. It's tough to consistently be graded on what has happened here prior to you or what has been going on around here when you haven't been here. And so on one hand, I can understand NBA circle and media because, there are a lot of question marks, not some, a lot of question marks when it comes to the Sacramento Kings, roster and moves. But damn, Whitey, I could say that about 20 other, seriously, like 20 other organizations throughout the league, and consistently say that about 20 other organizations throughout the league. I'm not saying the Kings get the short end of the stick because they've brought it upon themselves.
They've definitely earned it.
Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
So it's a twofold situation. Grace isn't being given because of where you come from, the reputation, your background, your file. When you hit the file cabinet, your reputation, your background in the paperwork ain't showing that you a 4-star general. Totally get that. And then on the flip side of it, it's like, damn, you got to give Scott Perry if nothing else, give him a year.
Mm-hmm.
Let him see him work his wiggle. But that's I go back to it. That's the world we live in.
What's puzzling to me is that you look at the Kings since Vivek Ranadive has owned a team. And I know that, they struggled before that for many years. But you look at how it's not been going well. And as you say, Jay, the bar is low. So you would think that someone coming in as a GM, coach, if you're able to find a way to improve a little bit, it would stand out, right?
Yeah.
Because even a little bit of improvement is going to look great. Like, whoa, that's so much better.
Mike Brown.
Yeah. Other than that, and Doug hasn't been here long enough.
Right.
He had a winning record last year. But you had the Beam team, and they did a few things. Other than that, the Kings have not been able to overcome that gravity pulling them back down towards the bottom. And that's the thing, if we're being honest here, which is what we do, I think for a lot of fans, it makes you wonder, it's like, well, wait, if you have different people as GMs and everything's still the same, maybe it's not the GMs making these decisions. Maybe it comes down still to ownership getting involved in these decisions that don't work. And I think that's why a lot of people look at it right now and say, Schroeder and Westbrook, wow, you're getting more guards, older guards. Are we sure that's really what Scott Perry wants? Now, I don't know. And if I did know, I would tell you. I don't know. But I think that's one of the things people are looking at and going, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that. But the team will just have to prove that that's not the case.
Well, Westbrook ain't been signed, has he?
No, it's
Has it
not.
been pen to paper?
But the team does. It's been reported from both sides. There's interest there. And I think it's a fair question. Why would they have interest in him? Even if they don't sign him, it makes you wonder, what are they trying to accomplish?
Yeah, that's Scott Perry on a couple of weeks
Mm-hmm.
ago. I guess that's a question for the general manager of the Sacramento Kings. I'm not 100% sure. I will say I've continuously said this. If I'm the Sacramento Kings, if I'm Scott Perry, if I'm BJ Armstrong, and really it comes down to Scott Perry because he's the face, unless he allows BJ Armstrong to come out and do it, work his wiggle around the media himself.
Mm-hmm.
I would, for the love of me. And I'm not saying he's that type of person. I don't know if he is. But I do know if it's me, I'm probably pushing forward the narrative. This is on my watch and this is on my clock.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he could have took the job knowing and fully understanding that you may have 75% of the call and 25% is going to live with Vivek. We don't know that. But I tell you one thing, Whitey, I wouldn't feel comfortable. Personally, I wouldn't feel comfortable moving forward without saying, this is how I'm going to get it done. Give me a little movement. Give me a little time, which Scott Perry has said to his credit. I think he has said, there's a few little key phrases and a few things that he said throughout a bunch of interviews. And I got to give Scott Perry credit because we had talked about this last week, Whitey, and I'll get your perception and thoughts on this. I have to give him love, man. Coming from the regime that was in front of Scott Perry, the one thing he has done is he's come in and he's changed the narrative of the Kings are not talking.
Oh, yeah.
He's talking.
He's been very accessible.
Yeah, I mean, dude. And around town and
he's almost like Bobby Evans, who would talk to anybody.
He is on the line. He's on the horn. And people that I've talked to throughout the community and media, it's like, yeah, I done sat down and had coffee with Scott. We done broke bread together. We done had lunch. So I got to salute him on that. He is definitely coming in and having conversations. Where I'll be honest, I don't know if the tenure before, like we saw Scott 2 or 3 times during Summer League.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's part of what they do, but I don't never remember Monty doing that, to be honest. Maybe once in 5 years, feel like. So I just say that, again, it's a twofold situation. The reputation is terrible for the Kings, and we're going to continue to take flack until you change that narrative. But to change that narrative, you have to do things different. And I got to at least give Scott Perry love. He's come in and talked.
I think the most difficult thing about his situation, I think it's 2 things. One is that he comes into a situation with a roster that I think anybody would say objectively it's a little out of whack.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they went for it last year and they didn't get nearly as far as they wanted to go, but still the roster was top heavy in certain ways. So he inherits that roster. And bless Carmichael Dave and those who say I'll tear it up. To get rid of the players you'd already invested in for nothing and to get pennies on the dollar, I don't think that would have been smart. So it does, to your point, it takes time to sort through that and figure out the best way to sell off pieces, bring in new pieces. That takes time. And that's it. You got to be patient. We've talked about this, Jay, and it's Kings fans don't have anymore.
No.
He deserves it. The team needs it. A lot of Kings fans, not all Kings fans, but a lot of Kings fans just don't have much more patience to give.
No. And for good reason.
Yeah.
And on top of that,
right.
Money too. You're starting to hear that quite a bit. And I told this to Draper. I said, Whitey makes a great point because I can't remember it throughout my 40 years of being on this earth. Kings fans, how aggressive they are with the fact of letting us know, with letting people know, the community know, and the organization know, and hopefully the organization is listening, that they tired of standing for something that's not, sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
And kudos to the fans, kudos to the Kings Kingdom.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
And that's what you're entitled to do when you're paying money.
You better believe it.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so shouts out to, the fans that are continuously letting people know it's all good, fine and dandy. And I'll ask on the flip side of that, the fans who are, purple colored glasses wearing, you don't have to bicker go back and forth or pick a fight with the Kings fan who was saying, I'm just tired. I'm tired. You know, I'm literally tired. I'm fatigued.
Worn down.
Worn down.
Worn out.
We can all figure it out together. But I think for the greater good, we're all looking for a W. We're looking for the win. We're looking for something different. We're looking for sustained success. And so kudos to the fans who are coming out and saying, I expect better from here on out.
Mm-hmm. That's why I think we talked about it. So many of us, and I'm certainly one of them, overreacted to Summer League because we were looking for something positive. And you have Scott Perry come in and draft 2 players that everyone liked to begin with. Even national media said those are 2 good picks, and they played well. It's like, wow, it might actually be working. So fans want that. So it's hard to be patient, but you give them something. Even that, 2 guys, a first-round pick, got in the first round, drafted a guy that everyone likes. Fans are excited about that. They just want something to feel good about going forward.
Yes, for sure. I think you're spot on.
That's the Kuminga thing, because I still think they're working on that, and I think that's something that if they pull it off, that here's a young guy, what is he, 22?
22.
With a lot of upside.
Yeah.
That would give you a sense of direction as a franchise. But right now, they're kind of in limbo, and I think it's reflected when people like, I know Deuce and Mo asked Scott Perry, and I think Kyle kind of asked him, he tried to couch it, but like, what about goals? How many wins next year? And, he's too good for that. He's not going to go there.
He's smooth
but
talker.
I think right now, part of it is like, we don't know if we're going to be this team or that team still.
Yeah. Well, I think, meaning Scott Perry and his regime.
Yeah. We're still working on this, but if we can't do that, we're going to be this.
We're going that way.
I can't answer that.
Right I said this to Draper last week, and I ain't being a broken record because you weren't here, but I did say this. I think we're going to see a quick hook. I think Scott Perry, Doug Christie, BJ, I wouldn't be surprised, Whitey, if we see first 25, 30 games, if it's not operating the way they want it to, I wouldn't be surprised we see a few people, as they say, a few heads roll. I think it may be a quick hook time because I do think you can't repeat the same mistakes that we did last year and maybe the year before, which is hold on to the Chris Duartes and guys like that who aren't producing throughout the whole season and wait for them to come around when, I'm gonna need a little more action. And if not, I'm going to need a little more of my young guns to season themselves a little bit as we move forward. And so I expect to see a quick hook from the Kings. I'm not saying that's the best thing to do. Not saying it's the worst thing to do. It ain't my job to. But I wouldn't be surprised if within the first 30 games, let's just say this team is not, they're under 500 or they're not in the race or, it's close. I could see this team being scalped pretty quick.
Yeah, I think next year, if you get off to a really bad start, hopefully they win every game. But if you get off to a bad start, the West being as tough as it is and the 2026 draft looking as promising as it does, if you get off to a bad start, you could make the case at that point, like, you know what? All right, we're cashing in our chips. That might be the smart move.
Yeah.
If, as you say, if it just doesn't work.
If it's not
By the way, I mentioned Russ, and I'm not clear on why they would want Russ, but a number of people here say they're excited about it. Vince Ramirez talks about the effort from Westbrook. Westbrook's not a bad option, always plays hard, which is respectable. Philip Cole says Westbrook will make them compete every game. And that is my understanding I think that's one of the things that the Kings like about Russell Westbrook when you're trying to build a culture that is based on effort. There's very few players, if any, who have ever played harder than Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, straight up. No doubt. One thing he's going to do, and Drapes talks about this, he's going to come into the locker room. He's going to come into the organization, and he's already going to bring credibility. He's going to bring attitude. He's going to bring in experience, the know-how, and fight, hustle, aggressiveness. He's a dog. He ups the ante immediately. You come in there half-stepping, like I'll give you an example. And I'm not picking on De'Aaron Fox. But I truly believe there were a couple times, and I'll go back to the Tyrese Halliburton rookie year. He had an ankle situation. I'm not here to say he didn't have an ankle situation, but I found it mighty funny that soon as Tyrese was twisted up, traded, hit the road, De'Aaron jumped right back. Very next game, it's all good. No doubt about it.
Miracle cure.
Hey, man, come on now, Mr. Miyagi. You know what I mean? But I say that in the form of you have a Russell Westbrook in the building. You better believe behind closed doors that's getting chin checked.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that. Hey, man, get up off your ass. Don't let an OG out here outperform you. Like, those are the things, those are the conversations. We've been in locker rooms, Whitey. We know what it is. I know what it is to look over and see my brethren playing with a hurt knee, a hurt ankle, elbow.
That sets the tone
Come
for
on,
everybody.
Now. That's, if nothing else, Russell Westbrook is going to bring the attitude that I think Scott Perry, B.J. Armstrong, and I'll speak from experience, I believe Coach Doug Christie is looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And Bobby Jackson. Bobby talked about aggressiveness and the thoughts that he believed Doug Christie, you know, his plan and his plotting last on Friday. We had Bobby Jackson on. So if nothing else, the same thing they brought Jay Crowder in for last year. I think the same thing they brought JaVale McGee in 2 years ago. The one thing about Russ is we know it's there. Like, those guys, I think, do what they do best behind closed doors. To me, Russ is the type of dude, he'll talk to you on the floor on TNT.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, get it done.
We'll come back with a look at 5 most overrated players in the NBA today. Is this list accurate? I'll tell you right now, I don't think Jay's going to care for it.
Where you getting that list from, man?
I'll tell you right now, I don't think Jay's going to like it.
Don't tell me LaMelo. They try to say my boy is number one. Who? First of all,
sounds like somebody's seen the list.
Somebody, what list are we talking about here? No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, sounds like you have. But we'll take a closer look when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our Giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Honda Summer Event and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. See all our specials at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Sponsored by the California Army National Guard and Potbelly Brewing. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Well, congratulations to the Fantastic Four. Cleaned up at the box office. Superman also held pretty steady, had another big weekend. Haven't seen Fantastic Four yet, Jay, but I saw Superman, and it's kind of goofy, but I really liked it.
That's all that counts, brother.
Yeah.
As long as you personally liked it, that's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen either.
Yeah. It's
I'm not a big Superman guy.
You don't like superhero movies, right? I think you've said that.
No, I'm good on the Marvel move. Yeah, yeah. I've seen quite a few of them, but Superman never caught me. I'm more of a Batman guy.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, Superman is almost kind of out of step with our times. It's like too goody-goody. He doesn't have enough problems, you know?
You're not some real life issues?
Yeah. You got no issues. You could do anything you want. You don't have any problems. You're not interested.
Right.
Whereas Batman, it's like, Batman doesn't even have any powers. He's just a guy with a lot of money and toys.
Straight up.
Yeah.
I'm an Iron Man guy. You like Iron Man?
Yes.
Love Iron Man. I'm trying to think of a few that really, like Black Panther 1 was good. Number 2, that's a different conversation.
Ryan Coogler, right?
Yeah, but I understand what happened because of the unfortunate loss of Chadwick. So they got put in tough position, right?
See, I haven't seen that, and I think I'd have a hard time getting through the opening scenes because I know I've talked to friends who say they kind of explain everything.
Yeah, it opens up immediately.
That's not entertaining. It's just that's just so sad.
Yeah, I like Kukulkan. Like I'm talking about the movie you haven't seen, but I thought there were some good pieces within it. I just wasn't a fan of who they chose to be Black Panther 2. Didn't bring that to the table for me. Yeah. So we'll see. But
Fantastic Four. This is like the third time they've made a big budget
tried to redo
Fantastic Four movie, and this one looks like it worked finally.
I saw a $200 million budget, gross $218 million.
They're
already
good.
up.
That's a plus.
Yeah, they're already
That's
up.
a good
baby.
plus minus.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like my guy LaMelo Ball.
That brings us to from Bleacher Report. Ranking the most overrated NBA players right now. Who's the most overrated superhero? Is it Superman?
Ooh.
Aquaman always had that reputation. Like, Aquaman, he sucks. He's nothing.
Yeah.
But then he's had those, 2 big movies.
Yeah, 2 big ones.
Yeah.
What's my guy's name? Is that Jason Momoa?
Yes, it is.
I liked Aquaman. The first one was dope. The second one was whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know who I really like? Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
Like Guardians of the Galaxy?
Very funny.
Man, love Guardians of the Galaxy.
I am Groot.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who's the most overrated. There's got to be somebody.
Yeah, might be Captain America. I don't know.
Yeah. Captain America's up there, bro. Superman. The problem with Superman, he's untouchable. So it's like, you can't hurt him. Minus the kryptonite. Captain America's up there.
Mm-hmm.
It's for sure up there. The other one that comes to my mind, and people wait, Spider-Man. What does Spider-Man do?
He can climb on walls and he shoots webbing, but that's actually because of something he made.
Right. Come on, man.
Yeah. And let me tell you, if he really was shooting webs like a spider does, they wouldn't come out of his wrist.
No, they wouldn't.
That would not be pretty.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is also one of them. I don't really see it.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't catching me. Those probably the 2. I'd go Captain America. I'd go Spider-Man.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would say Daredevil, but I like Daredevil.
I like Daredevil too. What about Ant-Man? You into Ant-Man? No.
No.
Okay. I got
Overrated.
You. Yeah.
Paul Rudd. I like Paul Rudd, and I kind of Ant-Man's okay, but
story. Did you see Doctor Strange?
I have seen. Is it a Spider-Man movie or a Doctor Strange movie? The one with both of them. That's a Spider-Man movie.
Both of them.
That was really good. Well, they're both in it, but
okay.
Yeah, into the multiverse.
Well, the multiverse is crisscrossed all kind of ways.
Yeah,
then you got the Avengers and all that.
The one where they have they have Tobey Maguire and the other guy.
The 3 of them together.
Yeah,
that was the last Spider-Man. I think.
Funny.
That was cool because they were fighting all their different enemies.
Yes,
right?
because as you say, the dimensions were
Chris
crossed. Yeah.
You have to be. I will say this: prior to COVID, no, I would have barely sat down to watch any of them. COVID came around. All right, I'll check it out. Let me see what the big deal is. Everybody continues to keep. You got to watch all these movies, and really, Marvel, DC is kind of getting left behind right now. There's a few. I think is Fantastic Four DC?
No.
Okay.
It's starting the next chapter of the Marvel universe. And that's the thing about this Superman movie. They supposedly are starting now. This is the beginning of the DC
movement.
Universe. Yeah. Okay. And it's kind of cool because watching this movie, you don't have to know, oh, who's that? That's the guy who's looking for the thing 3 movies ago who needs it in order to defeat this guy. You don't need to know any of that in this one.
All right.
That stuff's when it works, like it's great, but it's okay. Sometimes it's like, okay, what?
Yeah, too deep.
Yeah,
in
the Superman movie, you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, all right, I got you.
Yeah. But Jay is trying to put off our discussion of the most overrated NBA players, almost as if he knows who's at the top. This is by Zach Buckley, Bleacher Report, ranking the most overrated NBA players right now. He's got number 5, starting off with controversy right away, Jay. De'Aaron Fox.
Ooh.
Now, I will say, we don't want to pile on De'Aaron Fox. We don't want to play that game like he's not here anymore, so who needs him? But De'Aaron Fox here, let's see. His career on-off differential, plus 0.6 points. So when he's on the floor, his team is 0.6 points better than when he's off the floor. That's not much. Career box plus minus 0.8. That's like, so he, according to those numbers, hasn't necessarily had the big impact. I don't know that I'd put him up there, number 5, but it's interesting. De'Aaron Fox,
very
number
interesting.
5.
Very interesting.
I would take a closer look at it. I would say
I could see why, and I could see why not.
Especially now with some people saying, the Spurs might not even want to keep him.
It'd be, let me just say this. Karma would be a cold son of a gun if Dylan Harper comes out and he's good and he's as advertised. Guess who's a free agent this year and ain't re-upped? You could find yourself right back in Portland somewhere or Washington or
yes.
You see where I'm going?
He's on the cusp of becoming a $50 million plus per year player, but he doesn't have it yet. Number 4, you love this, Jay. Number 4, the most overrated NBA player list of right now, Austin Reeves.
You know it. He's my number 1. Overrated.
Yeah. His career marks and player efficiency rating, 15.5, league average is 15. Skilled scorer, capable secondary playmaker, not elite in either category. Also a limited on-ball defender who doesn't make plays on that end of the floor. I think sometimes he's overrated through no fault of his own. It's just because he's on the Lakers.
The Lakers, yeah.
Yeah. Number 3, I don't agree with this. Maybe you do. Most overrated, number 3, Jaren Jackson Jr.?
Yeah, I don't know where they're getting that at.
Yeah. I know he fouls a lot, but he's a really good player. He's not a good rebounder, this piece points out, especially for a guy who's 6'10". He fouls a lot. I still think he's phenomenal. He's regarded as a star, paid like a superstar. The stat sheet doesn't see it. Okay, I'd take him. I'd take Jaren Jackson.
You better believe it.
Yeah. Number 2 in the most overrated list, Tyler Hero, Miami Heat.
That's interesting. Damn, Tyler Hero getting a shot, huh?
I would not push back on that ever since he was out during the playoffs and the Heat went all the way to the finals without him.
Yeah. He's interesting. He's one of them dudes. He kind of really needs to take a step back and see, is it Heat? Here we go. Is it Heat culture? Does he make a huge difference? This past year, took I guess the next step, all-star. We'll see following up this upcoming year where he kind of sits, but that's an interesting one. I'd kind of put him and De'Aaron in the same category.
He was called out for his defensive issues by Darius Garland following game 2 of their first-round matchup with Miami. And after that, Tyler Hero said he would take advantage of the fact that Garland doesn't play defense, and he promised we'll see that in the rest of the series. And from there, Tyler Hero was 6 for 23, 2 for 12 from 3. So, yeah, I think that's fair on Tyler Hero.
I could, as I said with De'Aaron, I could see why and I could see why not. I think he's right in that same category.
Mm-hmm. Number one, most overrated. I think we all know, Jay. LaMelo Ball is on this list.
Who wrote this? Zach Buckley?
Zach Buckley.
Man, no doubt about it. I don't want, first of all, I ain't going to tell on him. I ain't snitching or nothing like that. But, man, who's he work for?
Bleacher Report.
Yeah, Bleacher Report must be slacking on their mandated tests over there. I'll just say that. 25, 6, 7.5 assists, 36% from three-point line, 40% from field goal percentage, 84% from free throw line. How in the hell is LaMelo Ball overrated?
He's made, more than 51 appearances in just one of his first 5 seasons. So availability. This guy basically says he stuffs the stat sheet, but doesn't really do enough to help you win.
What?
That's
so
Zach
almost
Buckley.
putting up a triple-double doesn't help you win. How about the people around you?
I don't even know Zach Buckley, Jay. I just wanted you to hear about that here.
Yeah, that's, man.
And you knew where I was going as soon as I mentioned most overrated players,
Yeah,
which I thought was interesting.
Hater. Real life hater.
He does say there are a few players who are more fun to watch on and off the court.
Man, LaMelo gets it. He's a youngster, man. One thing about LaMelo, he's 23 years old. He is, you know why I think LaMelo gets a lot of heat is he's a young dude living his life. Like he's been around, he's had money for a long time. He's brash about it when it comes to how he spends it. And the other part about it is he's eclectic. Like, dude, he's got a lot of things going on that a lot of people who white picket fence type guy or gal, they don't really necessarily approve of. And so I think he's one of them. And Edwards is starting to kind of catch this flack too. You're really seeing guys like that who are young and brash and in your face and don't mind talking about it and things like that. I think they rub people the wrong way.
Well, as far as that comparison, Ann has proven he's a competitor.
Yeah, he's a hooper.
And he's played in big games.
Yeah. LaMelo's a hooper. He just ain't been healthy.
LaMelo hasn't been on teams good enough to really test that.
Truth. He just, honestly, he's like AD. He just ain't been healthy enough. He's got one thing I won't take I won't dispel is his availability needs to be it's got to up the ante. It's time for you, 23 years old. You've been in the league for, a few years, handful of years now. You're getting paid. You've been an all-star. Charlotte is depending on you. You're putting up almost a triple-double for your career, but you need to be on the floor a little bit more.
Yeah. You need to help your team start winning.
Truth. No doubt.
That's not all your fault, but some of it is.
It's a lot of your
the
fault.
Show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. When we come back, a look at why the newest 49er has always been so controversial. Next, Sacktown Sports.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement, $999.99 and qualifying for it. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card below 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our Giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Honda Summer Event and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. See all our specials at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Got some of the smartest listeners in radio weighing in here on their own most overrated players. LaMelo is carrying the Hornets nowhere, LOL, from the 530. Sorry about that, Jay. UPS Chris says most overrated Ant-Man.
Nah.
Ant-Man, the superhero guy, yes. Ant-Man, the basketball player, no.
Oh, okay.
Right?
And
I'm not sure which one he's talking about.
Hopefully he's talking about UPS Chris. He's solid. Or he or she. I don't even know if UPS Chris is
that's a good point.
A young lady or a man.
By the way, UPS Chris, what up, Jay? My route is here in West Roseville.
Ooh.
I have to look at Thunder Valley Casino all day long. Tell myself, no.
Don't slide in, brother.
Yeah.
Save the check.
So UPS Chris, I think, is talking about Ant-Man, the superhero. Most overrated.
Yeah.
Superhero.
I think so, too.
Yeah, I think that's the leader in the clubhouse right now.
Austin Reeves is #1 on my list. There's a few other guys out there who just ain't bringing it, but I think for everything that Austin Reeves gets, and a lot of it, as you said, is because he's on the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. No doubt about it.
I know when the Athletic polls players on this every year, Draymond gets a lot of votes.
Yeah,
I think Halliburton got
he lay at 14. Yeah, 14.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's just wrong. But some of that is just depends who you're talking to. Players are looking at it like comes down to players that they're most jealous of sometimes.
Because I'm a shoe-in for Hater of the Year.
That's what it comes down to, Whitey.
Mm-hmm.
You dislike them or have gotten into it with the person and all that, but there's a fine line between disliking a person and saying they overrated too, though.
Yeah.
Just because you dislike them or you don't like the way they ball and then because they hit your ass for 40, you couldn't play no D. Now all of a sudden you calling them overrated. Yeah, you got here for 40 though, young fella.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I think when you look at the masses of we're talking about 14 votes for Ty Halliburton. I truly believe he proved that, and I don't know if he used that as unleaded to power his car, but he completely proved that wrong.
Yeah, if he did use that for motivation, good for him. Well done,
for sure.
It's a great lesson in life, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
that's that whole "you give me lemons, I'll make lemonade" and all that.
Better believe it.
Yeah,
put a little sweetener in there.
Yes,
I ain't talking about sweet and low.
Talk about real sugar, Jay.
Yeah, pure cane, baby.
Yeah,
crystals. Pure sugar crystals.
Yeah, Jay's still a little salty that LaMelo Ball was named.
Yeah, we know LaMelo ain't
overrated.
#1 overrated player. Anytime you putting up with this what I ask people all the time who hate on LaMelo. I've already given you the fact that he's not available. I'm not arguing that.
Mm-hmm.
I also understand that people don't like young, brash people a lot of times, especially young, brash people with money. And let me triple down on that. Young minority people brash with money.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? But the part of that too becomes he feeds into that. Like LaMelo's not running from that. And so I think he just doesn't check the boxes for a lot of people, but he puts up stats. There are tons of people who play on terrible teams who don't put up the stats that he does.
Right. But then you have to wonder, is he just playing and putting up the stats, or in more meaningful games, what would he do? We don't know.
He's
very skilled.
Yeah.
My thing with him when he was coming out of the draft, I was like, I would steer clear of him because he doesn't guard people. And I was wrong about him because he's been a lot better at a lot of things, but he's not a good defender.
No.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I don't think he's hit his prime at all, but I do believe, like I said, we need to start to see him turn the corner of maturity on the court versus off the court. I don't care what you do off the court in your personal life. Too many times, too many people care about that. He doesn't get in trouble. We never hear nothing about it for the most part. He did have a little incident where he ran over a fan's foot last year in the beginning of the season.
He said something that he shouldn't have said, but
yeah. He's brash, man. He's brash.
It's like he's used a disparaging term. It's like, no, you can't, that one.
Yeah, something like that. But he's got to mature, and that even becomes with learning your body and how to manipulate yourself through a full season. He's got to do that.
Well, I know they're brothers. That doesn't mean they're alike, but his brother turned his career around.
Yes, he did.
He went from being like, this guy's overrated, he's not close to, he was overdrafted, then he became a very solid NBA player.
Yeah, he is. And the injuries have hurt him.
Win games.
Yeah. If he can stay healthy, Lonzo, he's going to be a baller too.
Yeah.
He is he's someone that I'd be interested. I just need to see it be done. And he's not old, man. Was he 26?
It's just his knees are a little little older
than
the rest of them.
27.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I saw something today that said it was foolish for the Kings to bring in Levine and DeRozan, not realizing that the reasons they did work together when they worked together in Chicago was because of Lonzo. You know?
Yeah, I think we all know that. A lot of people say he's the glue. He's Elmer's.
Yeah. So my point is Lonzo went from like, I don't know if he's any good to, wow, he's really good. So his brother, if there's anything left for his brother to prove beyond the numbers, he certainly should be capable of it.
Yeah, well,
if the team gets better.
Definitely, he's got a lot to prove. What you said is postseason, but even before we talk postseason, we got to have the conversation of playing close to 82 games. You know, even if you want to say, I'm going to play 75, 76 and get a few games off here and here.
Jay, does he have to drink some milk or something?
I don't know. He probably don't drink milk. Knowing him.
There you go.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
He's on. What you trying to say? We need to send him a bottle of Nestle Quick.
That's right. Like, I don't like the plain milk.
Yeah.
Put some Quick in it.
Strawberry cookies and cream. Remember the cookies and cream Nestle Quick?
Well, I don't remember that. I remember the strawberry.
Yeah, well, strawberry's still moving and grooving. They had the cookies and cream powder, and then they had the, of course, you got the ones that's already pre-made. You ain't remember the cookies and cream?
No, I don't give them. Yeah.
Who's running the business over there? Why would they get rid of that?
I could see why you get rid of cookies and cream quick.
What?
Because the pieces of the cookie that are in there have to be treated with something to keep them from going stale.
Listen,
right?
It's not cookie pieces. It's
then it's not cookies and cream.
Oh, come on, man.
I'll have to look into that. I didn't even know they had that.
Come on, man.
I've looked into this. Eli Apple, he's the newest 49er. Bernardo Green pulled a hammy, so the 49ers looking for some depth, and they pick up. It's interesting because Eli Apple's camp releases news before the 49ers did. But it looks like, they're going to sign Eli Apple. Here's an interesting piece, Jay, that asks, why do people hate Eli Apple?
Ooh.
He was the 10th pick by the New York Giants. Let's see here. Giants fans needed Apple to prove his worth. He wasn't able to do that in 2 full seasons. Apple later said that he hated both the Giants and the Saints fan bases, which gave both even more reason to villainize him. And it goes beyond just the fans. Eli Apple has called out more than a few of his fellow players over the years. He's gotten it right back from those players. Landon Collins, his Giants teammate, called him a cancer in 2017, and the Giants suspended him for a violation of team rules in only his 2nd season. So he's been a guy that has not been well-liked where he's played. I read something today that suggested perhaps one of the reasons he's had issues is because of nothing that he's done. There's been a lot of turmoil in his family.
Yeah.
Nothing that he didn't. I'm not suggesting he did anything untoward, but he was in a very brought up in a family that was very unstable in a lot of ways. Some people think maybe that contributed to this. He also made enemies out of Tyreek Hill and McCole Hardman, calling the pair out both before and after the Bengals AFC Championship win over the Chiefs. I don't have a problem with that at all, by the way.
Nah.
I applaud that.
Yeah.
So the 49ers are bringing in a guy who's not been well liked. Some people say he hasn't really played very well as a corner either, as a depth piece. But it's interesting. He's got really a checkered history as far as getting along with people.
Yeah, remember I was talking about LaMelo being brash?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's the he's on the wanted poster of being brash.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One thing about Eli Apple is he gonna let you know how we feel, and he's gonna talk about it. You know, his emotions are on his sleeve. And unlike LaMelo, as someone said from the 510, LaMelo's overrated compared to who? ? Well, it was Zach Buckley from the Bleacher Report said LaMelo Ball was the #1 overrated player in the NBA, which we all know that's not true. But he also said, dude don't play, but when he does, he's effective. Don't see him as a franchise player. Eli Apple can probably be described in that sentence. He was drafted as a franchise cornerback, never really panned out. He definitely coming from the Ohio State, right? Coming from a huge college where he was brash at the same time at Ohio State. And he just doesn't know when to shut up sometime, I think. And it's kind of caused some issues for him, especially when you're not living up to what you do to the best of your ability. Cincinnati, I believe he had a good year, 1 year in Cincinnati, right? That was
their year they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But as an example of that, to your point, pardon me for interrupting,
No,
but to embellish the point, that year they beat Buffalo in the playoffs, and Eli Apple wished Stephon Diggs safe travels to Cabo.
Right.
And he used, in a separate tweet, he used the heart hands emoji, and some equate that with Damar Hamlin's recovery from cardiac arrest. So Bills fans are like, and he clarified, he said he didn't mean disrespect to him, but these are the types of things that he's either done or gotten caught up in.
Yeah. I mean, he is a young gun. How old is he? Saying that, I didn't even look this up.
I'll get that for you.
Yeah. He's one of those guys, Whitey, that talks a big
29.
Game. And
he's going to be 30 early next month.
Okay. So he's a guy that's been in the league, that's had some, stops throughout where he talks a big game and his play hasn't always equal to that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a top draft pick, as you said, number 10 from Ohio State. Hasn't really panned out to the best of your ability that you would think a number 10 pick. He's been serviceable in some years. And
he was with the Chargers briefly last year, but I think he got hurt again and only played a little bit.
Yeah. And he's had a good year or two here and there, hence the Cincinnati year going to the Super Bowl. I don't know what he brings to the Niners more than depth. We'll see if he's I believe he's out there practicing today. I saw a couple people drop a few clips. So we'll see where it goes. I think they have a few other youngsters they want to probably try and pray. And of course, they got some veterans back there too. At this point, if they're bringing in Eli Apple, that tells me Renardo Green is a little more banged up than I think we thought. Because if he was a little hurt, you let a few of the others, go at it. But I'm not sure. We'll find out very soon. I sure would hate to see Renardo Green start the year, and I know we're talking about it's only August, but I would sure hate to see him not start game one.
Mm-hmm. When we come back, we'll look at what the experts say would be a fair contract for Jonathan Kuminga next on Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying for it. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card below 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sacktown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Avery-Anna. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Sponsored by the California Army National Guard and Hot Valley Brewing. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal. You should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140.
Meet me up in Sacktown, get you home by midnight. Make sure that your family just don't know. I'll meet you in the
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
It's great to be back with you. No Kyle Draper today. Drape should be back with us tomorrow, so it's Whitey and Jay. Oh, yeah, good to be back here. Sacktown Sports. Jonathan Kuminga, how much is too much for him? Not in terms of players, but just his next contract. What should he be paid? What will he be paid? We'll tell you what some of the experts think about that in just a second. First, wrapping up some of the thoughts we had from the previous hour here on the text line, 339-1140, 1140. From the 916, we were talking about the Bleacher Report list of the most overrated NBA players. Jay's a little salty about it because LaMelo was number one. Kyle Kuzma should have been on that overrated player list for me. With that said, now he'll find his way on the Kings somehow. Wah, wah. Is that negative Kings thinking?
Yeah, that light rail might have hit the trail already now.
Yeah, I think even the Kings have realized, we don't want him.
Well, different regime now. Period.
Mm-hmm. Trey weighs in with this on Eli Apple. We talked about Eli Apple, controversial figure with many teams.
Yeah.
The 49ers are bringing him in. Trey says people hate Apple because he brags about how good he covers and he stays getting burnt.
Yeah, pretty much like I said, he's brash, talks about it, doesn't back it up all the time, no doubt.
Also, his mother is active on social media,
man.
and you know that
extra active.
Fans don't appreciate that.
No, they don't.
When the parents start sticking up for their
especially when you
kids,
as Trey said, when you're getting worked on the worked on the goal line, you're getting worked on the 50, you're getting worked on the 25, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Jay, I love how you can transition from the barbershop last week to the pub today.
Hey, I try.
I'm guessing, is that like last week was more of kind of a barbershop feeling here?
Of course, man.
And okay.
Or maybe it was at the barbershop, never know.
Okay.
Got love for Sacramento community, man. We keep it rocking. Why do you never know where I'm going to be, man?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometime I'm out there hunting and pecking and looking for my boy Dub G.
Where are you going to be? Are you talking about the event you have coming up in September yet? Or are we not?
No, absolutely. We live, baby. September 20th. Come out.
Mm-hmm.
We got a charity bike ride event, man. I'm putting on my foundation, Sack on Fire, which is got a little extra stuff that I won't talk about right now when it comes to that. But no, September 20th, we inviting the whole Sacramento community. Got people of I always like to say my superheroes, people of interest, people like Whitey Gleason coming out, man. I got to confirm you. Got a little red carpet going.
Nice.
And check this out. Put the bike under your feet.
Woo!
We ain't talking about the motorcycle. We ain't talking about the moped.
Mm-hmm.
The bike life is real. It's a cultural phenomenon happening in Sacramento, along with other places throughout the country. Community fun, fitness. We like to give back. We talk about it. I meant to hit you last week. Totally slipped my mind because I've been moving and grooving on my event. September 20th. You can go to Sacks on Fire, short for Sacramento, SACS on Fire, all your social networks, or sacksonfire.com. Tap in, man. Please come out, rock with us, all ages. I'm see if I get my boy Whitey on the bike. If not, he'll walk the red carpet for me. We'll see if he do it. But I forgot to connect with you last week for the big brothers and sisters.
Met with the director last week, and
how we looking?
Good.
Okay,
we're just talking about a few things, and they're, obviously, they're looking for people to get the message out.
Sure.
Yes,
we're
can
here
help with that.
Okay.
So we got some things.
Say no more.
Very soon.
We're gonna hit the gas pedal.
Big brothers, big sisters.
Yeah,
Sacramento.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, but no, please come out September 20th. Again,
who's your celebrity starter?
That'd be the legendary Jerry Reynolds.
Woo!
Jerry Reynolds waving the green flag.
Oh my goodness.
I was gonna say, hey Jerry, I know you do your 3-mile walker every day. Should I put you on the bike? But then I said, I don't know if I want to get to be responsible for the legend, hurting himself or anything else. But no, Jerry Reynolds will be out waving the green flag for the ride. I mean, we just do it for the community. It's what we do. Why, all seriousness. I was at one of the events yesterday, South Sacramento, 24th Street. Shouts out to the family over there. We Trust in Us and Tree Boy and everybody over that way for putting on. Got to meet Council Member Vane from over in that district. That's where I was born or grew up in that district, South Sacramento. So Meadowview area, Garden Block area. So it's, deep in my heart, man. Sacramento is one thing about it is I love it. And one thing about what we try to do is fill those spaces that are a void. As much as we talk about it, and no doubt, and for sure, there's a lot of people throughout Sacramento that, they funds are longer than train smoke.
Yeah.
But I keep it thorough. I ain't seeing that train smoke, blow through certain areas in Sacramento. And so we need that. We need that to be done. But I'm also a parent, Whitey. I'm for sure a parent first when it comes to my daughter, beautiful daughter, Nia Johnson, 14 years old. That's my heart. We give kids too much. Sometimes. Sometimes they take advantage of our giving.
Generosity.
Yeah, generosity. So I love to give back to parents too, because I'll say this, Whitey, and you know this, you've raised 2 beautiful daughters. You could give me more game than I could ever give you in a parenthood. If your mind is not right, if you don't feel comfortable, if things aren't going right for you, sometimes that can trickle down to your kids.
Oh,
man.
no question.
You know, so I also try to make sure our parents are taken care of too. So come out, jump on the bike, giving tons of stuff away, bringing the community. I'm the bridge. I'm trying to bring zip codes together. So the people that's listening, like my boy UPS Chris that's over in West Roseville, and the same folks that's listening over at the barbershop, all Flooring and Amherst, Skills, shouts out to them. One of my folks over there, Kevin Company and Dave and all them, they listen. We bridging them together. We got to do a better job. We talked about that last week. Whitey, filling that void and also being a bridge to bring us together. So my people over there that's in Rockland, don't be scared to come down to Arden. I'm putting it centrally located right here by the studio. You ain't got to drive all the way to Galt. You ain't got to go to Elk Grove.
No excuses.
Yeah, Elk Grove. You ain't got to go all the way to Antelope. I'm putting you in the middle. No excuses.
Mm-hmm. Here's the deal on Jonathan Kuminga. We've been talking a lot about how much should the Kings give up for him. Who knows? The Warriors apparently want Keon Ellis. We do know, at least we think we know, that the Kings have made an offer. That's what gets things going, gets things started. What that offer entails, we're not sure. Are they ever going to get anywhere? We're not sure about that. But if you bring in Jonathan Kuminga, you got to pay him at some point. If you sign and trade, you agree to an amount. The Warriors sign him to that, then they trade him to you. So how much, in terms of the money, is a fair deal for Jonathan Kuminga? It's interesting, Jay, because, we were talking today, and I'm sure we'll talk more about this list, 5 most overrated players in the NBA. Jonathan Kuminga may be overrated. He may not be. He's got so much upside. I don't think anybody knows yet. So that's what makes it so difficult when you're trying to determine what is a fair amount of compensation for him. The Athletic asked 16 people who work in rival front offices, asking them, what do you think would be a fair contract for Kuminga?
Who did? This Athletic?
The Athletic.
Okay, gotcha.
And this is Fred Katz put this together.
Okay.
And those members of the front offices were granted anonymity in exchange for their candor. Answers range from $17 million to $25 million in average annual value. The mean average annual value in the poll was $20.4 million.
Okay.
We think that Kuminga was looking at some point for something around 30.
Yeah.
And it looks like members of NBA front offices don't think that would be fair. One executive suggested a 2-year contract. 10 executives mentioned 3-year contracts. 4 people said 4 years. And one fan of Kuminga's game suggested the largest deal, 125 over 5. And he did this anonymous member of a front office, compared the 22-year-old Kuminga's talents to those of Jaden McDaniels, who just inked a 5-year, $131 million contract when his career was in a similar spot. The executive said McDaniels is great in his role, but JK is more talented and has higher upside if he ever can hit.
Wow.
End quote.
The
That's the
lottery
whole
ticket
thing with him right now. Yeah. And again, we know what the rumors and the suggestions are, and we're not going to spend a lot of time spinning our wheels on that right now. But it is interesting what this player would represent for the Kings, because if you bring in Jonathan Kuminga, guess what? You're not running it back, Jay. That old talk, they're running it back. Nope. If Kuminga's in here, they ain't running it back.
Something a little different.
On a whole another path.
Are you comfortable for the 5 for 131? 5 for the 125? Jabari got 5 for 122, right? Jabari Smith Jr. So I guess we're kind of playing around that same realm.
Mm-hmm.
Is $25 million too much for a guy that's more or less a scratch off?
I think if you're the Kings, and, I'm assuming that they could do that without any real financial hardship, and I'd have to crunch the numbers on that, but assuming that they could do that without really having to cut something they'd want to cut, I think you'd almost have to get them to say, all right, I'll come there. Now, we know that the story last week was that he met with the Kings and he said he was open to it. And I heard Carmichael Dave and Jay Ross today saying, of course he's going to say that. What's he going to say? No, I don't want to go there. He's keeping his options open.
Yeah, smart.
I think if you get Kuminga, Jay, it's almost like you're not saying, we'll bring him in and hope he develops. You'd be saying, you are our guy. Now, we have Zach LaVine, we have Sabonis, but we want to give you every opportunity to reach all of your potential. And according to reports, the one thing Kuminga wants is not just a role, but a chance to be a star on a team. So one way you could convince him that's what you're doing is by offering him that contract.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get him for less, obviously, yes, do that.
Approve it, a little more show and prove a deal. I'm comfortable giving Kuminga the 5 for 125.
The part that scares me more than the money is the years, because I don't know if he's that guy or not.
Sure.
You know?
Let me ask you this, because I hadn't asked this to Drapes. I'm going to ask you. You'll be the guinea pig here.
Yep.
If you are a GM or assistant GM, play armchair GM for me real fast. Not just Sacramento Kings, but any organization. Is Jonathan Kuminga to you a star to be?
I honestly think it's doubtful. It's certainly, there's the potential there. I would not do this. If I were the Kings, I would not really be spending much time even looking into it.
Because of who?
Yeah, because I saw him a lot, and he was not a good fit in Golden State. He at many times, and I know that, well, they didn't give him an opportunity, and I get that. He was not always as professional as an NBA player can be, and that's one of the things the Kings are emphasizing. But I'm going to put that aside. I'm answering your question.
On the court, professional? Or
but
off
more
the court,
like
what are you, teammate?
Draymond has alluded to him like being late for a few things.
Okay.
Like he would play,
I hadn't heard that.
He'd be in the rotation, and then all of a sudden he didn't show up for something, and then he's back on the bench. He's very young, I know.
Yeah.
But that's why, to me, if I'm the Kings and I'm trying to build these things, and I'm trying to build everything based on those 6 principles, I don't know that Jonathan Kuminga has demonstrated that he's in line with that. But if the Kings continue down this path, I think it'd be fascinating. And I'm not going to waste anyone's time beating the drum on, I wouldn't do it. I've said that I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I still hope they do, because I think it would be fascinating. But to answer your question,
standpoint,
I would not be as optimistic as apparently they aren't. As it looks like BJ Armstrong, based on what he said on podcasts in the past, he really believes in this guy's talent.
All right. So if you don't, I take all of that in you saying he's not a star. Is he a third piece?
He could be that, but it sounds like he didn't want to be that. He's not interested in that.
Well, I think there's a fine line in the form of Paul George is probably the third piece for Philadelphia right now. Now, I know different age brackets. Paul George has been the 1 and 2 in other places.
He's been on top.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe that's not a good example. I guess what I'm saying is this. I think on a good or a great team that is contending, unlike whatever the Warriors want to call themselves, because they've been down and up and down and up over the last 2 or 3 years. Now, of course, they got the championship mixed in there. But I say that in the form of, I feel like the Warriors don't know what's going on or where they want to push to as well. And from my standpoint, I think Kuminga is saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. You guys are hunting for Giannis, and you guys are hunting for, Lauri Markkanen at one point in time. You guys are saving your money for, a star here. Bam. We love to give. I'm right here.
I could be the guy.
I'm the guy.
Yeah.
You guys aren't giving me that opportunity. And so we know organizations, we know they paint narratives. We know they'll let some things trickle out to, I won't say harm, but disparage the thoughts of a player, and vice versa. So I think there's a little bit of gaming going on. I think the Warriors and people, we hear so much. I ain't heard Joe Lacob come out and say, you know what, I absolutely love Jonathan Kuminga. Now, it ain't for him to do that, but so many people always talk about, well, Joe Lacob is the one that's carrying the water for Jonathan Kuminga. And if you got the man with the plan, the man who's cutting the checks under your wing, then you're always going to be good. And I said this last week to Drapes, and I can't remember who, and HT, where we were having this conversation, because HT made a great point. Jonathan Kuminga is getting tore up by a lot of people in the media. Is he can't be a star, he can't be a 2, he's not even a 3. He thinks he's way better than what he is, and all these different negative connotations we continuously hear. Well, if that's the case, why the Warriors ain't traded this man yet? Why they ain't got up off of him yet? If he's such a bad person, if he's so late to practices, if Steve Kerr want him to be the greatest teammate ever to play, and I can't get him to do that, then why they ain't just traded him for pennies on the dollar?
Because they have two views of him. And by the way, and I know I mentioned that he was late for some things. I'm not saying he's a bad guy, and I've never heard
I'm not saying
Just to be clear, I am not saying that, and I've never
not
heard
Whitey Gleason.
Yeah,
not Whitey Gleason.
I don't think he is a bad guy. He didn't get along with the coach. But as far as the Warriors, why don't they get rid of him? It looks like the coach feels one way about him, and the owner feels another. The owner sees him as he could be our piece.
Okay,
we're going to lose Steph at some point. Jonathan could be that guy. That's why we drafted him. And I think the coach looks at him and says, maybe, but he just doesn't fit what I'm trying to do here.
So now
they're at a.
So now let's look at, and this is now I'm a flip sided to the Kings. Joe Lacob for sure has earned his reputation. But damn, as quick as we talk about Vivek meddling, ain't this the same situation?
In a way it is,
okay.
But obviously even with his meddling, they've won.
Okay, understandable.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, they also had Steph Curry.
Yeah.
They also had Klay Thompson. They drafted them.
Mm-hmm.
They hit a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
In all actuality, as much as you could say it was an educated guess, they got lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, I continuously say, if Steve Kerr is the almighty and he's the one that's pulling the strings and making decisions on the court, and Joe Lacob is saying no, Joe Lacob got all the respect to go in there and be like, no, this guy is going to be the move. He will be the guy. I will give him the money. And I continuously ask. I'm asking you, Whitey. I know you don't have the answers, but I'm talking to you. I'm talking to our listeners, 916-339-1140. Joe Lacob could say, Steve Kerr, I don't really give a damn what you think. I'm going to sign him for 5 for 125. It ain't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I continuously ask people who continue to talk about Kuminga in a negative light or a positive light. No one, and this is what I'm saying is, we all can have our opinion on who he is, but nobody has the answer. No one knows how good this dude is going to be. He's 22.
Right.
He went to the G League.
So
he picked up
Kings,
basketball late.
Is it worth it to take that risk if you're the Kings?
Why not?
Because if you're wrong and you sign him to 5 years, this is what I was getting at when I was talking about the contract. You're sunk for 5 years.
But $25 million, not to cut you off, Whitey. That's, as someone says, it's interesting from the 916. NBA's crazy. $25 million a year should at least have made an all-star before you get that contract. We're getting ready to have dudes making $70 million.
I know that.
$25 million is a drop in the bucket. That's going to be a front line, a starter money.
That's why I said the year's more than the money. If I hitch my wagon to this guy for 5 years. Now, the reason you would do it is, I get this. The Kings, because they're trying to be competitive, they're probably not, unless they tank, and they still could, you're probably not going to end up with a really high pick. That's where you have the best chance of getting the superstars.
Right.
And we all know, I know people are saying, but you can get guys lower. We know, we've seen that.
For sure.
But at some point, you need that guy. And here's a guy, if you're the Kings, BJ Armstrong apparently feels he could be that guy. And look, I don't know that he will be. My guess would be that he won't, but I have to admit, he could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no one knows.
He's incredibly talented.
Yeah.
He just moves differently. Seriously,
Yeah,
I used to watch him
yeah.
run from the top of the circle to the foul line and go, wow. So I get it. If you're the Kings, like, we have a guy here, and I think you've used this term, Jay, he may be something of a distressed asset.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we have a situation where they're torn there. Maybe we can get him for less than it would take. Otherwise, we have a player who could be like a great player, and he's potentially available. It's hard for us to get guys like that.
Yeah.
Free agents don't want to come here typically. We're in a position where we don't normally draft them. So when you have a guy like that, I understand why they would go, okay, we got to see if we can do something about this.
Yeah, because
I understand.
Yeah, he is and this is what we kind of called him last week. He's a scratch off. He's He's almost, and I gave this example, and I'm giving it to you. Apologize, listeners who heard this last week, Whitey. No, if you heard, because I know you was on vacation. Jake the Bird. He's a scratch off that's a guaranteed winner in this form. I compared him to Keegan. Keegan is giving you 15 and 4. That's what Kuminga gives you. Actually, Kuminga averaged more points than Keegan last year, but he's the scratch off that says you're gonna at least get your money back. You walk in, I want the number 26. I like the pot of rainbow, whatever you want to call the scratch off. And you know it's a guaranteed winner. You're guaranteed to at least get a brand new ticket or another ticket, or you're guaranteed to get your $2 or $5 back, or you're guaranteed to get an upside, something bigger. That's what Jonathan Kuminga is. And so what I'm saying to fans are, I get it, even if you don't have a great opinion on Jonathan Kuminga, just what you said, there's an opportunity to get something that is greater. And you know me when it comes to the money. It ain't my money. And I ain't Vivek, and I ain't the rest of the minority owners. If you look at the grand scheme of things, $25 million in the NBA, as we just seen with Dennis Schroeder, that's just a starter money. That's not superstar money. That's not secondary star money. And the way it's going, that's not third person money. We're talking about a fourth or a fifth guy. I just continually say there's got to be something to Jonathan Kuminga, because if it wasn't, no matter if you dislike him, don't like the way he play, like I said, he ain't Steve Kerr. We can put it on Steve Kerr board. He ain't what Steve Kerr wanted to do. Then why y'all ain't got rid of him?
Yeah. And the other thing is this, you look at the Kings front court right now, it's like, they don't have much, wings wise. They don't have as much as other teams do. But if you had Kuminga, and I know you'd have to give up something of value to get him, but you have so many guards, you'd still have your best guards. You might have to get rid of DeMar if you got in Kuminga.
Yeah.
But if you had Kuminga and Keegan as your starting front court, along with Domantas Sabonis, that changes your picture completely. I understand that.
Yeah, for sure.
All of a sudden, it's like that's a potential real bright spot. Whereas now it's kind of bleak. So I understand their interest.
Yeah. Well, I just say this.
Fascinating.
I'm a DeMar DeRozan fan. I was a fan of him coming here. Doesn't mean it's going to always work. It's going to be at a high level. DeMar ball last year didn't pan out the way they wanted to ball. But we got to be honest and truthful about this.
He always does.
Absolutely. You're right. You said that better than anybody could. The one thing about it is this the last year in DeMar's deal for the most part. He out of here. We ain't winning no championship this upcoming year unless lightning strike and something happen that we all don't see. Why are we continuously talking about, and I know that's what's up next, but Kuminga for 5 years at $25 million, that's chump change. That's truly, it is chump change. And so I just don't understand the likes of and I get where you're coming from, but we're talking about $25 million in a budget of guys making $70 million.
No, I know. I know that.
Your fifth starter is making $15 million. If this dude has any shot of being a star,
he'd be a bargain.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Why not take
3 years in, he'd be a bargain.
Why not take the shot?
Yeah.
DeMar's not going to be here post next year.
We also don't know for a fact that he would be okay with that, but I would think he would be.
Yeah.
I would think he'd be all right.
You mean Kuminga?
Yeah.
5 for 125?
Yeah.
He'd probably be.
Yeah. Because it's a sign and trade. He has to go. Yeah. All right. There's so many moving parts.
He's got the no trade clause, cover the tender.
Yes. We have more on that coming up. Also, the hitting has begun at Niners camp. We got to look at the top 5 position battles. When we come back, Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
You still have 40 million plus vehicles globally that are driving around with a potential ticking time bomb, a grenade in either their steering wheel or their dashboard. When we look to what injuries may have transpired from a defective airbag, we generally see loss of vision in an eye, or we see facial lacerations. We also see hearing loss. Unfortunately, we started seeing death after death after death. When that passenger airbag exploded, it basically degloved his entire face. He lost his nose, he lost his right eye. The type of catastrophic injuries that one is more accustomed to seeing in a Hollywood movie, not something from a device in an automobile that's supposed to protect you. Morgan & Morgan has a national reach in terms of handling and prosecuting cases. notwithstanding the team of lawyers that we have collected that focus only on product liability day in and day out.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
There's a lot of uncertainty in the world, but one thing's for sure. You need a PC you can rely on. Whether it's for school, gaming, or whatever your next chapter holds, Lenovo.com has the tech to help you succeed. Shop PCs right now at Lenovo.com during their back-to-school sale, where students can save more when they sign up for a Lenovo education account. Free shipping, easy returns, flexible financing. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Nikola Jokic's horse in Serbia, and I believe it's harness racing.
Yes,
His horse
sir.
won a major event in Serbia, and Jokic went crazy. He was so happy. Did you see it, Jay?
Yeah, he broke down in tears.
Yeah, and ESPN has compared the video of his celebration to his horse winning. Can't find the name of the horse, but I'm looking for it. They've compared that to how he reacted when the Nuggets won the NBA championship, and he was definitely more excited about the horse.
No doubt. He literally jumped the fence and ran across the track, and yeah, he was. He's a pony enthusiast. Did you tell me a story about you kart racing out there, Cal Expo?
Oh, harness racing, yeah, and I won.
Yeah,
I won.
Boy.
Yeah,
it was you, Phantom, and who?
No, it was me and Justin.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and we're apparently going slow, saving it, if I needed it for the home stretch.
Boy.
And the announcer's going, "Oh, their time right now is well below what it should be." But I won pretty handily.
That boy.
Yeah.
Was anything on the line that you can share?
Everything.
Oh, okay.
Pride,
that
self-respect. Yeah, and it's interesting because you have to wear goggles, and you don't realize you see these jockeys wearing goggles sometimes, and it's amazing the things that fly back at you. I wasn't on the horse. I was in the harness deal behind it.
And the cart.
Yeah, exactly. And whoa, what was that? I don't even want to know what that was. But you either have, obviously I have a thing with animals, birds,
Sure, absolutely.
This horse responding to my steady guidance.
Dr. Gleason not doing it.
Yeah. I think that night, actually, all kidding aside, one of the handlers got kicked in the shin right after our race and got really badly injured. So you got to be careful with the big animals like that.
Oh, especially horses.
Yes. Jokic, after the Nuggets won in 2023, he said, "The job is done. We can go home now." That was when he won the NBA
job, baby.
Yeah, job is done. We can go home now.
Yeah.
Whereas after his horse won, he was very excited.
What do you remember the name of your horse?
Oh, that's a great question, and I don't, and I'm embarrassed.
But
I'll tell you what, that horse remembered my name. I'll guarantee it.
Put him to work, man.
You can almost sense the horse is like, What are we doing here? Who is this amateur back here? I ain't running for this jabroni. You know, you can, the animals know. You know, if you come in there, you got to be confident with an animal.
Sure,
an animal
for
knows,
sure.
like, yeah.
Especially a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Them horses are huge.
Yes. Interesting thoughts on Jonathan Kuminga on the text line and on the chat. It sounds like the majority here, people we're hearing from are like, you know, you don't want to break the bank for him or anything, but he would really address a position of need, and fans would be, I really think fans would be very excited about it.
Yeah.
How it would work out, I don't know.
Who
A lot
knows?
of risk involved, but fans would, it's a move that fans could really get behind because it would represent a new direction for the franchise.
Yeah, different change. Yeah, and I just say it in this
and he
form.
is fun to watch.
Yeah, he is. He is, here goes the obligatory word. He's athletic.
Uh-huh.
He's entertaining. He for sure is. I just think there's not a lot to lose when it comes to him. If we're talking 30 million and above, yeah, I'm a little concerned about the money. And that's coming from me, a person to say, man, you can spend as much money as you want to win a championship. Mm-hmm. We've seen it happen. But I'm also staying in the confinements of not trying to blow past the second apron and have an owner spend almost $500 million, $400 million, or whatever it would be, something that you have to do to blow past the second apron. I just truly think when you look at what the money is being tossed around.
No, I agree with you.
And then you look at what we just gave Dennis Schroeder and you look around, I use him as an example, and it's not against Dennis Schroeder because he's earned his money, but you look around at some of the starters throughout the league and the money they're making, $25 million, it's a ton of money, but it's on the low end for a starter in the NBA.
Yes, it is.
And it's crazy if you're telling me that I have an opportunity to maybe hit the lottery, hit it big, the grand prize. It's like this, Whitey. You go to a casino, you go to a game, and we've all been at, your niece's game, your daughter's competition, and they're trying to raise some money. And you look over and they got a couple of young people walking around, or, you go to the ball game, the A's game, Giants game in that horrific ballpark, and you see the raffle ticket competition, whatever they call it. And you look up and let's just say it's been growing and growing and growing. And we're in game, 100 now, 110. And it's been accumulating over the last 2 seasons, and no one's hit it. And you see, how much is it to get into this thing?
Mm-hmm.
$20, and I'm going to win. You look up at the board, you got an opportunity to win $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you at least think to yourself, man, I could give it a shot. Mm-hmm. Now, peep this, though. Because here comes the odds a little bit better towards you. Is they're saying with this $20, it puts you in the running to get the $10 million, but parking's on us. It's your parking ticket. Or, as you experience, it's that high price pizza. You get what I'm saying?
Yes,
it's really a no-lose situation when it comes to Kuminga.
Yeah, I don't think the money is really going to be the issue for the Kings if they get that far. They are going to quibble. They're already quibbling about the players, and it looks like right now, maybe the Warriors are saying, we want Keegan and we want Keon and we want a first, and it's not that the Kings it wouldn't make sense for them to do that.
It's too much.
So if you're the Kings, you're like, okay, well, we're not going to do that. And then you're waiting, right? You're waiting for the price to come down. You're just sitting and waiting and playing the long game.
Yeah.
But here's an interesting thought from Trey on the text line, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Trey says $92 million over 4 with an option last year. But my question is, if we bring in Kuminga, won't we have to clear the decks for him to maximize his potential? So that means Zach and DeMar would almost assuredly have to go. How do we pull that off? I don't know, Trey. The way I see it, I don't think they'd both have to go, but I think
one will have to go.
Rob and DeMar would be the one that would make the most sense.
I mean, he's on the last year of his deal.
Yeah.
For the most part. So, and
I'm wondering if you might have to eat some salary on that and buy him out if it came to that.
But guess what, though, Whitey? And this, what's so crazy is sometimes Kings fans, we're asking for moves to be made, and then and I'm gonna just go after the folks that go after me about, oh Jay, but you can't do that because if you do, you're gonna get to the second apron. It's like, dude, stop counting Vivek and the money over there. Y'all worried about way too much stuff that y'all ain't got to handle. But I say that in the form of, why do you looking at DeMar, who's owed what, 20 some odd $1 million this year?
It's not a ton, yeah.
Man,
it's a healthy amount.
Hey,
yeah.
Buy that out. How about that? How about the same fact that you paying all these other coaches because y'all chose to fire them?
But then I do have to be aware of what that does to my cap situation.
Wow, man.
Because I can be limited to what else I can do. It's not just a matter of being afraid to spend the money in today's NBA. Here's a DeMar DeRozan contract. I know there's a lot of fans that know this. I apologize. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, 24/7.
Yeah. Chump change.
Mm-hmm. And then the next year, 25/7. But I don't think the last is fully guaranteed.
Yeah, it is. It's not fully guaranteed. It's an option.
Right. Yeah.
And so I said, this is pretty much his last year, because even, if DeMar plays here for this year, and I'm a huge DeMar DeRozan fan, love him before he even came to the Kings. I love the way he plays. I love the fact of, how he gets down, how
you
the
love
way
what
he
stands
controls this,
for.
and I definitely love what it stands for. This is, all due respect, probably his last run with the Kings. Not seeing them winning a championship, I think DeMar will start to look around and say, yeah, this might be my last deal, meaning his next deal, and he might be hunting for a ship. I could be wrong, though.
Mm-hmm.
2024 is the same exchange that you're really looking for when it comes to Kuminga. We just saw teams. I mean, Damian Lillard just got $110 million stretched out, and we crying over $23 million.
Okay, but
$24 million.
That's that stretched out. Who'd you say? Phoenix and Milwaukee? I know they did it.
Yeah.
I know you don't like to hear it, but it's gonna cause them to get into some financial gymnastics. So you got to be careful about some of that stuff.
But I also say this: Matt Ishbia don't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
He's spending the money.
Mm-hmm.
He trying to win. No matter what you feel about how James Jones went about it, now that he's no longer there, how they went about it and getting Matt to sign off on all these deals. The one thing Matt is doing is he's spending Bitcoin. He trying to go win, though.
Yeah, but he hasn't figured out how to do it yet.
But that's not the argument we having. The argument we having is we got penny pinchers around here who crying about $24 million.
Mm-hmm. But my point is, if you're spending, just being willing to spend all the money doesn't necessarily get you anywhere, too.
Nah, but Whitey, that's not the conversation. The conversation is we have so many people who are like, oh, well, this guy needs to get paid this, or he shouldn't get paid this, or that shouldn't get paid this. And I continuously keep on saying, if an owner wants to win, they will spend the money. They will go get it. We've seen it. Mm-hmm. We continuously hear about the Brian Windhorses of the world talk bad about Joe Lacob and them spending $400 million, because what we've learned is when you spend that money, you recoup it quicker than you spending it.
But because they did that, they've made it so you can't do that anymore.
Says no one, because you still can go over the apron just like other teams are going over the apron this very year. And the ownership are spending it. Doesn't matter if they win or not, they're going for it. Mm-hmm. So as a fan that has not seen my team win at any point or cost, guess what? I don't give a damn if you penny pinching or if you spending $1 billion. I'm trying to see a win. I'm trying to see the same thing. And this is why we're talking in circles when it comes to the King's Kingdom. We want something to happen, but we're crying about them spending the money. We got armchair GMs who crying about spending $24 million on a buyout, a stretch provision. And then the vice versa, we got people who want to spend the money, but it's like, oh, well, don't go get that person, go get this person. Well, we can't go get Giannis. It's not happening. It's not that easy. But here's a person that is for the get right now. That's not going to cost a lot of money. It's right down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It factors for the armchair GMs who want to spend the money and the ones who don't. And you're going to get someone that has an upside, a distressed asset.
I think the Kings are willing to spend the money on Kuminga. I don't think that's the issue. It's one of many, but I don't think it's the primary issue. How does the Kings' short-term and long-term future stack up against other NBA teams? We'll look at that when we come back. So Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. Classes start August 13th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowes.com/delivery for more details.
Whitey here, and I want to remind you, not all grills are created equal. The Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers are built different, built better, and built to last, with features other grills can't match, complete with a lifetime warranty. It's a great time to find out for yourself because Napoleon's Pro Summer Blast is on right now. Save up to $400 today on a Napoleon stainless steel Pro Grill. Become the envy of your neighborhood. Offer ends July 31st, 2025. Visit your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply and get grilling today on your new Napoleon Prestige Pro Grill. Napoleon stainless steel grills, simply the best.
Hey, daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
Hi, I'm Alan Stiles. Injured at work? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, California's leading injury law firm. With over 40 lawyers throughout California, they've won over $500 million in settlements. Downtown LA Law Group will get you compensation for your work injury. You don't pay unless they win. That's right. You pay zero up front. Call Downtown. Text Injury Help to 40222. That's Injury Help to 40222. Visit them at calldowntown.com.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
How about that? And we couldn't do it without you. We could. It wouldn't be as much fun. It wouldn't be as good. So thank you for your participation. It's good to be back today with Jay. Kyle Draper back in tomorrow. Big night in Sacramento. The A's are back home against Seattle. And Nick Kurtz coming home for the first time since his almost literally unbelievable. You know, we say a lot. That was unbelievable. Oh, it's unbelievable. What he did Friday night almost literally was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
You know? Scoring 6 runs, that alone is like really hard to do with 6 hits and 8 RBI and 4 home runs. You know, that's borderline. It's hard to believe, but he did it, and the A's pull off the sweep, and this is the first time they've been home since, of course, it's no surprise, but Dave Parker was inducted yesterday, the former Athletic, into the Hall of Fame. So big homecoming for the Athletics. Are going to be a lot of people there? Probably not, but you know Nick Kurtz is going to get that big ovation. That he deserves.
Congratulations, Nick Kurtz. Congratulations to the late, great Dave Parker and his family accepting it on his behalf. You know, shots out. Anytime the A's can be on the up and up, we rooting for him. Big time.
and CC Sabathia from
Man,
Vallejo.
come on, man. Dude is come from nothing. Let me tell you that. To have the opportunity to know CC. Shouts out to CC for getting it in, and just a ball player, a dog. You talking about somebody that went out there and gave it his all.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it on numerous occasions. We've seen it when he was with the Brewers, start game 1, turn around, start game 4. Just so many different things that CC is put forth for the game of baseball, along with the Players Alliance. It's for African American baseball, and being up front and being on that 3-man panel with him, Edwin Jackson, and blanking on the other one. Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody else. But it's a beautiful thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is to see someone that is close to Sacramento, like Vallejo, and I know that's the Bay, but to see him really working and get to the spot to where he is, man, he deserves all the flowers in the world. Salute to him and his family.
Obviously, love the fact that he's from Vallejo.
Yes.
My least favorite thing about him is that he went to Vallejo High, because we're rivals. Weren't you talking to him about me? And he said, "Where'd he go to high school?"
Yeah. I told him, said Hogan.
Yeah.
And he was like,
right.
Come on, man.
But my favorite thing, or one of my favorite things, he actually, Jay, led both leagues in shutouts in the same year.
Yeah.
Because he got traded.
Yeah. I mean, he was
Cleveland to Milwaukee, and ended up tied for the lead in shutouts in both leagues in the same year.
He was a dude who battled. Like, he would give you everything he had. And he has spoken about, like you talked about a little earlier in the show, he has spoken about some of his battles with sobriety.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me, and I'm not accusing him of doing it while he pitched, but just so many things going on in his life that he felt was challenging him, and to still go out and have a Hall of Fame career, man, it is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It really is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Shouts out to CC getting in the Hall.
Yeah. Carson Wisenhund, who's been with the River Cats, making his major league debut for the Giants tonight at a beautiful Oracle Park against the Pirates. No ballpark like it, Jay, as you know, in this great country of
You talking about Pittsburgh's ballpark?
No,
PNC?
Beautiful Oracle Park.
Oh, okay.
Where unfortunately for the Giants, they were swept by the Mets this week.
What makes them a standalone ballpark again?
Oh, just the vistas, the water right there.
I thought they had that in Pittsburgh too.
The bricks.
Oh,
and
okay. Don't they have that in Wrigley?
Just downtown San Francisco.
Pretty sure I've been to plenty ballparks downtown. Just San Diego and
I
plenty
used
of
to
those
drive
places.
by that park every morning on my way to work, and I'd talk to the Orlando Cepeda statue.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no statue of Orlando Cepeda that I know. Maybe one of the islands, but yeah, nah.
Yeah. So big baseball week with the trade deadline coming up. So it could be big for, the Giants have to make that decision. Buster, Buster's going to, if there's something that can be done, he's going to do it.
He's a go-getter.
And then the A's also, they'll have a lot of people going, hey, how about this guy? How about that guy? Mason Miller, for example. They'll have to make some decisions.
He was on the block last year. Remember, I didn't think he was going to stay with the A's, but he did.
Mm-hmm. I've heard talk of some teams maybe bringing him in and converting him to a starter.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because he's not well, last year he had a bunch of two inning saves, and he's kind of shown that he can go out there and throw a few innings.
He's big, yeah.
Is he not the he throws gas, but now we got dudes throwing 103 and a $102, and he does it.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is 5. Just give me 5.
Right.
So
I still think starters are devalued compared to what they used to be, but a starter is still, a good starter is more valuable than even a closer. So if teams look at him and say, oh, with his frame, he could stand a heavier workload. I could see how teams might think that way. But
he's
and then for the
beast
A's,
too.
like, we're not going to win that many games, and he's a closer. Unless you think next year and the year after we're going to be good, a closer is almost a luxury that you maybe can't afford.
And no doubt you probably got 1 or 2 already down in the system that that you think highly of. And we know a lot of times people are transitioned in from starters to closers and bullpen guys to closers. So, maybe it's not the guy that we're all thinking about. It could be someone else. The trade deadline in baseball is it is a tricky one when you are the seller, because more times than not in baseball, you don't really get much back of value at the current state, and that's the point of it.
Well, there have been so many can't miss prospects over the years. Like, this guy can't miss, and they do.
I know,
and
that's the tricky part.
Yeah,
is because we're talking about Kuminga. When you are a seller, you're pretty much taking on a lottery ticket or 2 or 3 or 4 and a draft pick, because you're really looking for, like you said, prospects. You're not looking for someone that is controlled by another team, because more or less we know in baseball, when you're controlled by another team, arbitration up to being 6 years, you don't really give up young talent. And we see with the A's, they ride this 6 years out, and then when it's time to, they spin them.
Yeah, and they're pretty close. I mean, the pitching really has to be addressed, but you look at some of that, like not just Nick Kurtz, but Wilson, and we all know the names around the diamond, and they got more young players coming up. They've got some really talented players at multiple positions.
Oh yeah, they do, for sure.
Really, and they're playing together, and I know these are unusual circumstances, and hopefully that won't, limit their development, but they've got a chance in 2-3 years to be a really good team. But it's going to depend on not just the continued development of players, but more than that, on the pitching.
Yeah.
Pitching right now is like,
which is, I think, why they're leaning on Mason. Mason's history of who he has been throughout the organization, and, being a closer in the league.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't know if they're trying to transition him back, or is it something that, they think he can, bring back to the table. But I thought they transitioned him to being a closer because they didn't think he could be a top flight starter, which was kind of who he was, right? But now you're talking about pushing back, which I hadn't really heard too much about.
A team or two I've heard that they might have interest in acquiring him and thinking about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think he has mastered what he is doing now, and he's one of the better closers in the game. To push him back to what he was doing, in the minor leagues or whatever the case may be, I'm not. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, some people think closers are. That was an old Billy Bean thing, a Moneyball thing. It's like, closing's not that hard.
Yeah.
You just got to finish the game. And I think over the years they've discovered, like, okay, not just anybody can do it.
Yeah. Especially at a top, the best, best of the best.
Right.
Talking about Brad Lidge getting into the Hall of Fame. I mean, it is crucial. How many times have we seen in the playoffs, let alone just regular season, but in the playoffs, you always go back to when, and I hate to do it, you just go back to Eckersley. It's like, dog, you can't close hobble Kirk Gibson out.
All the great things he did for the A's, and you got to go back to
that. Man.
Are you going to mention Robert Horry next?
He stole up Nah, I'm not.
You're on a roll, Jay.
Yeah, man. We had Omar Gooding on last week. He talked about Robert Horry because he's a Laker. I swear I almost cut him off.
Almost. Yeah. Why didn't you?
You're disrespected. He's a friend.
Okay.
He's a friend.
You were in a tough situation.
I'm not
sure you did the right thing, but I understand why you did what you did.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Look at NBA teams with the bleakest futures. There's another list here.
Come on, man. Is the Kings on there? Oh, here we go.
We'll see if they're on the list.
Here we go, man. It's a Monday.
Next on Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local, but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota Hybrid. Check out the hottest deals on 17 Toyota Hybrid models from the longest-lasting brand on the road. And right now, get a low-cost lease on 2025 Prius. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care. That's 2 years of complimentary maintenance. These deals won't wait, and neither should you. With more MPG and a new Toyota Hybrid, it's time to hit the road. Toyota, let's go places.
Offer available for TFS buyers with premium ready credit. Offers end date 4/25.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, by his standards, Lawrence Butler isn't having the kind of season he expected, but still, Lawrence is just 25, and he's only played the equivalent of 2.5 seasons in the minor leagues. And now he's on a pace to become the first athletic since Coco Crisp back in 2013 to go 20-20, 20 homers and 20 stolen bases. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is, live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Sponsored by the California Army National Guard and Hot Valley Brewing. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Oh, so good to be back. Thanks for the kind words here. It's Drive Guys. Whitey back in studio. Kyle Draper back with us tomorrow. So it's Whitey and Jay today. Before we get to the Kings and where they end up on this list of the teams with the bleakest NBA futures, if they're on the list at all, we'll get to the phones just a minute, Jay. And I just want to point out, we stayed home a lot last week, but we also went up briefly to Tahoe.
Okay.
Quick trip.
I was going to ask you what you do.
I don't know why we don't do that more often.
Yes, sir.
It's so close, and we very rarely do that. We went to, Emerald Bay and stayed overnight. It's tremendous up there.
Yeah,
We're just
man.
like slapping ourselves. Why don't we go there more often? It's awesome, and it's so close.
We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As I count in my head, we literally have a Tahoe, Napa. You got the Monterey Peninsula, like around that way, Carmel, and Fort Bragg, and all that
we
stuff.
usually head that way.
Okay, gotcha. Santa Cruz. Like we have a few places around us, San Francisco, even though some people would argue that, but like nowadays, we literally
Vallejo,
have
you should mention Vallejo.
Valley Joe, Maritime Academy.
Yes,
100%. We have places that are so close to us that are literally destinations. People come. It always befuddles me when I think about how close we are to Napa. I won't say take it for granted, but it's like, I ain't going to Napa. I'll go to Amador Valley, or I, shake it down towards Lodi and Dixon, or go that way and tap in. But people around the world come here for their yearly vacation, in Tahoe and stuff. So no, absolutely. I'm glad you guys, the Gleason household, got out and also welcome the family over.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, man, I ain't hearing nothing about your vacay. It was more of a staycation.
Most of it was with a lot of people visiting from all over. My
Good
wife's
food?
family. Good food. We had, it wasn't that warm last week, but the day they came was nice and warm. Lots of swimming. Yeah, I don't know if you know this, Jay. You should know this. I think everyone should know this. At the pool there, the Gleason pool, if you jump off the rock at one end and then you shoot the basketball while you're in the air and you make it land in the water, used to be $5,
Okay.
and it was years ago. So we increased it to $5.75.
That a boy.
And my daughter's nephew Ty actually hit one.
He cashed it out.
He did.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, still only $5. $5.75.
That boy, inflation. You're paying like a lot of these corporations.
That's
You know,
right.
went up just a smidge.
That's right.
I got you.
Do you have change? I don't. Well, sorry. We'll have to get you next time. But we're good for it.
Hey, but listen, this is the times of electronics, man. You could have cashed at it, Zelled it, Venmo'd it. Okay, I was just asking.
Not around the pool,
PayPal.
Jay. We don't want any electronics around the pool.
All right. I got you.
339-1140. 1-800-920-1140. It's time for, guess what? Check it with TC. What's up, TC? I've missed you.
Whitey missed
Mike check.
Whitey missed you too. Whitey and Jay. Drapes ain't in, but I know he's listening.
Yeah.
Hey, Whitey, I'm going to come in, though, right? So Jay was on mic check. Jay was on point. I was going to come Niners, but I'm going to save that, right? I'm going to save that for the second. Let's go Kings. So as far as the Kings, I'm with that, right? As far as, like, that's why I always get on Whitey and say, Kings fans, what do we really want?
Yeah.
Right? Keon is my dog, right? But if that's holding up the trade, bro, he has to go. Period. I told you guys from the jump. Devin Carter, hold on. Keon Ellis is a better player than Devin Carter. But if we're talking about defensively, they're on the same level. Devin Carter's a better rebounder. Keon's a better shooter. That's it. Keon does not leaps and bounds better than Devin, bro. If that was a move we have to make. Period, point blank. I'm with you, Jay. The 5 for 125, that's what I'm giving him. That's more than enough for Kuminga, right? That's to get his Whitey, to get his athleticism.
Yes.
And to get that wing
I get it.
that everybody wants. Everybody's screaming. We need somebody athletic. We want somebody that can jump out the gym. Bro, he's right here for the taking.
We need wings.
Listen, Whitey, Jay, if the Warriors want to do the deal, we can do it. Kings fans, this dude, if we got him, he's answering all the problems, big dog. Well, not all the problems, but that wing help and athleticism answers that off the bat. So Kings fans, please use our head, bro. Let's quit talking about the money we spending. We don't want to send this player out. We don't want to send him out. Come on, dog. We acting like Keon. You know what? This ain't got nothing to do with Keon. I'm not going to keep going down Keon's rough. I'm just letting y'all know right now, he's not holding up the trade.
I got you.
And I love you, Keon. Listen, now Niners, I'm going to end it on this note.
Yeah.
Y'all want to know why? Listen, Whitey, because you guys been waiting for TC and the Niner talk.
Yeah.
Here we go, Jay. Y'all want to know why the big dogs is showing up? The George Kittles, the Trent Williams, the Nick Bosa's, right? Even Brandon Ayuk with the injured knee. He's on the sideline coaching. Do y'all want to know why these dudes is showing up? Yeah. It ain't because of Kyle Shanahan. You know who it is? It's the leader of men, the Robert Saleh. They respect that man. They respect that man. I'm going to say it again. They respect that man. I'm telling you, that's why they doing what they doing. It ain't got nothing to do with Kyle. Kyle's out of here next year. Robert will have that job, bro. I'm out on that one.
Wow. Throwing fireballs, the flamethrower.
Hey,
TC.
He said Kyle up out of here next year.
Saleh's taking over.
Ooh, wee.
Kings, interesting
Shouts
Kings
out to
thoughts
TC.
we'll get to. But so there was not as much 49er offseason drama because of Saleh, huh? Because people respect him. Interesting,
That's
TC.
what I'm talking about. He came in there. TC said he came in there and shook the house loose and said, hey, the champ is here. Everybody sit back, relax, play your position.
Mm-hmm.
He's steadying. He's steadying the boat. That's what TC talking about. I like where your head's at, T. I see where you're going with that.
As far as the Kuminga thing, I still think most likely it's no fun, but most likely is I still think Kuminga stays there, at least for the start of the season is most likely. And it's really, we don't need to get lost in the weeds on it, but with the base compensation rule and the Warriors and the apron, and they can only, whatever they send. No, it's whatever they send out only counts half of what they bring in.
Yes.
And if they sign and trade them, they're hard cap. It's from where they stand financially. It's like, it's going to be really difficult. So I don't think it's a matter of, hey, if you put Keon in the deal, done deal. I don't think it's as simple as that.
In reality, as much as I talk about, like I said, I go back to Henry Turner because he made the point. So I was just kind of echoing it.
Yeah.
no doubt, as someone, I can't remember, 530, 510 was Town Business, or they was coming from Woodland. It was one of them. But they're like, you have to know how to cap an apron and everything works. Well, check this out. You need to know how to cap an apron works. We all are trying to learn the cap an apron. We can all do the reading of the 157, the 187 being a luxury, 184 luxury tax. Like, we can all do all of that type of stuff. The 14 million of the MLE. Like, we got all of that type of thing. All I'm saying to you, and I'm saying kind of this: the Warriors are in a position that they're kind of stuck with what they have to do with Kuminga. But Kuminga is stuck in the form of just like Quentin Grimes, just like Josh Giddey. Guys are stuck because there's no teams who have the open money this year to go out and sign a restricted free agent.
Josh Giddey and Cam Thomas.
And Cam Thomas as well. Yeah,
there's four of them.
Where other years, someone would put the pen to the paper and say, yeah, we'll sign you 400 or 3-4, whatever. We're not seeing that this year. So the 7.9 that is tendered to Kuminga, it's chump change on paper, especially for a starter of the ilk of Kuminga, which he hasn't been starting all the time for the Warriors. But when you start to, like you said, get down to the rabbit hole of the cap and the apron and accepting 50% to the dollar that they have to do that, that's different for sure. But if we're having the conversation, and no one is having that conversation, Whitey, and that's what I'm saying is, if we're talking about that, the 530 or 510, whoever said that, then yeah, we can have that conversation with the budget. No doubt about it. But on the opposite side, I truly feel as a fan, we calculate people's pockets way too much. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I get it. But I also know this, and I understand your point. But I just know as a fan, sometimes a fan of this team or that team, if they spend to get a guy, yeah, you're right. It's like, it's not my money. But sometimes, well, if that's going to keep them from getting guys down the road, I get,
Well, Whitey.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to the Kuminga situation.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that applies necessarily.
Thank you. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Where is that going to stop the Kings from spending big money anyway? Because look around. Kuminga would be replacing what DeMar DeRozan makes basically to the dollar if you gave him for the 5 for the 125.
Yeah.
It's a fair exchange, no robbery. It's easy work.
But and I'm not disagreeing with you, but Kuminga comes in, DeRozan going out, that would be tricky too. How are you going to do that?
Yeah, no doubt. That's not my job. That's not what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Listen, that I'm not playing armchair GM here. I'm not going to see, in one hand, I'm not going to sit up here and talk about, well, listen, I'm not spending money. I mean, it's not my money to spending how you want to. And then on the flip side, have to figure out, well, we got to trade DeMar to do this and do that. I'm not playing armchair GM.
Right.
I'm the person that's stepping back and saying,
I'm not arguing with you.
There it is. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying there's enough fans throughout the NBA circles who love to play that. And that's cool. Be the capologist that you are. No problem. If you want to be,
good for you.
Yeah.
Some people do the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
I can't do it. Some people do it really fast.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you want to be that person, then more power to you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But the point is, we're arguing, and TC is talking about it. We're arguing there's an opportunity to get something that may help us. And just for general specifics, it doesn't cost that much. It really is just one move away. It doesn't seem, we've heard, it's been floated, Devin Carter, Dario Saric at 2 seconds. Doesn't seem to get it's not getting it done right now. We get it. And it may be because the apron and the cap, and we can get into that. But on the surface, it checks a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
For what Kings fans are asking for.
Mm-hmm.
And so all I'm saying, with that being said, why in the hell, if the Kings had the opportunity to do it, and it doesn't cost that much, not the money, players, assets, why would any Kings fan say no? That's what I'm trying to understand. That is what's befuddling me when you talk to Kings fans, unless you just come out and say, man, I don't like Jonathan Kuminga, I don't like the way he played. then I respect
or
that.
you just don't think he would
You
help.
don't think he's going to
Yeah,
ball. Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah. I hope it happens. It's going to be really difficult, but the Warriors are kind of everything's on hold because they can't do what they want to do until they resolve that. So I think maybe the Kings are sitting there waiting for something to break. But if it comes down to, hey, we're the Warriors and we're going to need Keon, we're going to need Keegan, and we need to protect it first, like no deal, right?
Yeah.
No deal.
Yeah,
that defeats the purpose of why we'd bring in
2 first rounds. Yeah, absolutely.
So
We're taking a step back.
We wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Here you go. This is the latest list from SB Nation. Ricky O'Donnell. Sounds like a golfer, huh? Ricky O'Donnell here at the 13th.
Did you see Happy Gilmore too?
I haven't.
Oh, dog. Don't waste your time. Go ahead. Keep
Dave
going.
said it was good.
Man, keep going.
A lot of people are offended because of the violent conclusion.
Keep going, Whitey.
Okay. So don't see it?
I'm just asking you. Yeah. That's going to take us down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a rabbit hole.
All right. So were you offended by it or you just didn't think
No,
it was
I
funny?
wasn't offended by it, but I didn't see it funny.
All right. NBA's 11 worst long-term team outlooks ranked by who has the bleakest future. So the higher you are on this list, the better, the less bleak your future is. So they have here 11 Portland, 10 Toronto, 9 Chicago Bulls. Well, I saw somebody this week was saying, I think Toronto might be good. They might be a top 6 team in the East. Number 8, Milwaukee. Terrible present with more hope for the future. Number 7, Charlotte. Number 6, Brooklyn.
Damn.
Brooklyn, by the way, their rookies did not play well in
Summer League.
Yeah.
They got a lot of money, though.
Yeah, yeah. Well-run organizations far away from competing. Number 5, Washington. Number 4, Utah. What are they doing? Number 3. Well, I'll skip ahead. Number 1 is New Orleans on this list. Number 2 is Phoenix. So the Kings on this list of teams with the bleakest future, according to Ricky O'Donnell.
Damn.
Here he is with a 7-iron on 13. He's 2 over for the day. Sacramento Kings. What are they doing?
Dang.
And they mention here.
Who was 4?
Number 4,
Utah?
that's a different category, is Washington and Utah.
Oh, come on.
Utah 4,
Damn.
Washington 5.
All right.
And they talk again about, well, they just had Halliburton and they just had Fox and they had Mike Brown and things crumbled quickly and Fox wanted his way out. Let's see. We know all that. Kings do have all of their picks until 2031. The roster continues to be mismanaged. There's no one who feels capable of carrying the franchise moving forward. Picking up Keon Ellis's option was one mistake this summer. Let's see. Giving out real money to Dennis Schroeder feels like another one. The Western Conference is so unforgiving, and it feels like only a matter of time before Sacramento is in the tank race again. They just don't know it yet. Again, this is Ricky O'Donnell at
Ricky O.
Report. But there's a lot of people around NBA media, some more well-known and more accomplished than others, who are basically saying the same things about the Kings right now.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't know what they're doing again.
There was like 4 lists we went over last week, and they all said the same thing.
Yeah.
They're at the bottom or the top, depending on how you look at the key of the
whichever one you don't want to be, they are.
They are, yeah. Whitey, I'm going to be a broken record until they change something in the win column. We'll consistently talk about how the Kings' perception is shown around the league. Just it. I mean, we could talk to it blue in the face. They have to win.
Mm-hmm.
When you start winning, all that will shut up for the most part. Beyond that, we're going to consistently have that until they, get lucky like some of these other teams, San Antonio Spurs and hit 2-3 top 4 draft picks in 3 years in a row. Like, yeah, that's the type of luck you need. You got to get lucky.
Definitely.
So there's really nothing more to continue to talk about beside go out and win.
One of the things that is a recurring theme here among all these lists and stories that are kind of looking down their noses at the Kings is people remember that a year ago, the story became right before camp, De'Aaron Fox might want out. It turned out he did. I think a lot of writers now are anticipating that Domas is going to want the same thing. I don't know, but I thought it was very telling and interesting that Domas, he could have asked out this year and he didn't.
Yeah.
So, somebody, you got to give Scott Perry credit for that. Somebody was able to impress upon him. No, we know what we're doing. Yeah, we have a plan. And I can't imagine that much. I can't imagine that Domas would come in going, well, I'll give you a year and we'll see what happens. I mean, there must be something about what's going on here that he really likes. And I think he's probably, just a guess, but I think he's committed for more than just this year. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way it looks to me.
No. I mean, look, that's your opinion. Formulate that puppy, brother. Educated guess, a hypothesis. It's something that we continuously face as a fan base. You look around and you have a year like the Beam year, Beam team, and I went back some kind of way over the last couple of days, over the weekend. Something slipped into a YouTube algorithm or something, and I saw pregame of game 1 of that series. And just to see them moving around Doko and the way the city was rocking, man, that's a beautiful thing. I just had to throw that in there. Shouts out Sacramento for putting on, when the Kings are doing good things. But it's going to take a monumental shift for this team to get out of the dungeon of the NBA. And we seen it. The Beam year was dope. Last 2 years you've been playing, and now all of a sudden we back at the bottom, and we're dumbfounded, and we don't even, and you hear about our team not even knowing how to run an organization, and you got 63 guards and 1 center and no wings, and you just continuously hear all of that, and there's some truth and honesty to it. You're just gonna have to do you're gonna have to make a monumental shift to get some of this off your back. How they get to that? We can argue Kuminga. We can talk about Zion. I feel like we've talked about Pascal. I promise we've talked about John Collins. I feel like we've talked about just about everybody under the sun, Whitey. When it's really all said and done, you go out there and win a few games, the narrative will change very quick. You go out there and demand your respect, the narrative will change very quick. You go out there and clothesline somebody and let them know you mean business, the narrative will change.
Nick Clifford plays well, the narrative will change.
Absolutely. Max proves to be something, the narrative will change. It's that simple.
Yeah, but it ain't that simple. Yeah, it's incumbent upon the team, and fans are entitled to fan however they feel like.
Please
fanning.
do. Yes.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Dave has been hanging on. Hey, Dave, you're on the Drive, guys. What's up?
Hey, Drive guys. Hey, thanks for taking my call. Well, I tell you what the Kings don't have is a culture. They don't have a culture. What is the culture of the Kings? Well, nobody knows because we're one way and then we're the next. And I hate to say this, guys, but it all starts with the owner. It all starts with the owner. I saw this with the 49ers, too. When Jed York finally talked to Eddie D, and Eddie D said, you got 2 jobs, right? The paycheck and hire a football guy and get out of his way. So the owner's got 2 jobs, right? The paycheck and hire a basketball guy and get out of the way. Let them decide what the culture is. Let them have what it's going to be. Not him. He's not a basketball guy. Hire a basketball guy. And I don't know if Scott Perry's that guy or not. We'll wait and see. But I'm telling you what, we need to establish a culture within the Sacramento Kings. If you come here, you're going to play Kings basketball, but we need to define that.
Thank you, Dave.
Hold on real quick. Whitey, can I ask Dave something?
Yeah.
Dave, you still there?
Yeah.
Dave, let me ask you something.
I am. I'm right here.
It sounds like you are a fan, someone who has invested their money, time, and effort. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So because this is one of the things as a Kings fan, I'm also struggling with myself is I'm with you. I think a culture needs to be set, Whitey. I think I may be speaking for you in the fact with that too. Dave, I asked you that in the form of what will it look like for you as a fan who's invested their time, effort, and money as a culture set? Like what does a culture look like for you?
A culture is no easy points in the paint. We're going to be defense first. We have to be defense first. When the opponents come here, they have to know, my God, we're in for a dogfight. This is not going to be easy. These guys are rough. These are tough. These will put up with no nonsense. And we play fundamental great basketball. We pass. We do all the things right. We had that in 2002 and 2003. When Doug Christie said it best, he says that we knew there was 2 teams that could beat us. One was the Lakers, and the other one was our bench players. We had a great bench team, but we had a culture. We knew we were passing, we were tough. No one got easy layups. Chris Webber made sure of that. And when he laid out Stockton, he let the message be known. This is a tough team. And if you're going to beat us, you have to play your A game. We don't have that now.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
You know, Scott Perry has talked about building that culture, and he's got the 6 building blocks. So he's mindful of the need to do that. Obviously, just about every coach, every GM, when they're new in the job, it is important. I'm not saying it's not important, but they all talk about, we're going to build a culture. How many times have we heard that here as Kings fans?
Yeah.
Over the years from different people, building a culture.
Yeah.
So it is important. It's just obviously a lot harder to do than it is to
Right.
talk about. What Dave talked about, the perception of meddling from ownership, that's a really common perception among fans. I think the Kings, they're very smart. They're probably very well aware of that. It's a perception. I remember in college learning perception is reality. What do you
Perception
mean?
is reality.
So whatever people think, that's the way they see it. That's their reality.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the reality right now with a lot of Kings fans. They see the Kings that way. The problem is that the owner is too involved.
But why not just fans too? Now, come on now. Ricky O'Donnell, Ricky O.D.
Yeah.
Also said what?
Right.
And last week, Sam Quinn said what? And Michael Pena said what?
Yeah.
It's NBA circles. The
Yes.
whole NBA media feels like everyone is pointing the finger at the person up top, person up top, person up top.
Yeah. So the Kings, but I think they have to be more concerned with the fan base. That's one of the things that's getting in the way of you and your fans connecting. Fans feeling like, hey, this is the problem. So how you address that, I don't know. You know, I think Mr. Ranadive has been less visible. Like he doesn't go to press conferences and things anymore, which I think part of that is because he doesn't want to be front and center. He wanted to, no, the basketball people are running things. People still don't believe they are, though. So that's tricky.
Yeah.
So it's just Scott Perry's going to have to prove that that's not the case because there's a lot of people that agree with Dave.
Yeah, tons. And it's just at NBA circles, but you're speaking about the fans. That's why I asked Dave, what does the culture look like? We could talk to it blue in the face. You may see culture completely different, and that's the great part about sports. But I do think there is something to us, Kings fans, the kingdom seeing like, oh yeah, this has changed. Like it feels like it has changed a little bit. And I believe the reason why, fans are so passionate and fired up right now is because the Beam team, it felt like the culture was beginning to change and the precedent was beginning to be set. And the defense every single night we heard from Coach Brown was one of those things with defense. We've heard it over the last 2 or 3 years. This team can score with anybody, especially when they're cooking and clicking, but can they stop a nosebleed? We're not sure. And so that's why I'm interested. The fans like Dave, what's the culture setting for you?
Yeah.
And Dave said it, and you've said this numerous times. Look, for you, it's shooting and defense. That's what you live and die by. Now I work around all the rest of the stuff, but shooting and defense is where you're going to live.
Yeah. Different teams have different building blocks for their culture. They all involve team first and defending. But the thing is, what makes a culture in any sport or even a place of business. My understanding is Bill Walsh took that term culture from the business world and applied it to his football team. And Michael Lombardi wrote about this in his book, and because he worked with the 49ers at the time, and he said Bill Walsh's culture was everybody from him to the people selling tickets all had the same goal in mind. Everyone was working towards the same thing. Obviously, when it comes to winning games, Bill Walsh has more of an impact directly on that than people selling tickets. But it's all about everybody in your organization having the same goal, working towards the same thing. Last year, I think that was probably impossible for the Kings because people weren't sure. I just got here. I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's
the part they play.
Yeah. And it, sometimes you have people like, I don't want to do it. Other times you have like last year's like, I don't know what we're doing. I'll do it, but I don't know what we're doing. So now you have presumably a training camp. It's going to be a real challenge for Doug to get everybody on the same page. I thought Malik, that's one of the things that stands out to me about Malik. When you go back to the Beam team, he set the tone for the culture. The culture is just talk until someone like Malik says, I'll come off the bench because we're better for it.
Yeah.
It's just talk until someone like Domas says, I have a broken thumb, but I'm going to play.
Still balling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actions speak louder than words. So this team hasn't even had a chance really as a team to put those things into action yet.
It's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good point, Whitey. Very good point.
Yeah. Take a timeout, come back with more on that. We got to look at the 49ers as well. They got pads on now. Look at the biggest training camp positional battles. We'll do that when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
At Target, back-to-school-a-days are here. What is back-to-school-a-days, you ask? We're talking 7 days of deals on looks and styles the kids will love, at prices you'll love even more. Because back-to-school at Target means getting all of the above. Through August 2nd, save 25% on select kids' clothes, with additional savings to round out their looks, including uniforms, leggings, polos, and activewear. Plus, their new favorite backpacks are 30% off. Happy back-to-school-a-days now through August 2nd, only at Target. Terms and conditions apply.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Seems like back to school happens earlier each year.
First day of school coming in hot.
And this year, my kids had massive supply lists.
Folders, notebooks, and pens. Oh, the humanity.
But Staples had everything I needed, with some items just 25 cents.
Watch the small print.
No. My back to school budget was saved by Staples Easy Button.
Everything for school, in stock and as low as 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Until 23 while supplies last.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Whitey here, and I want to remind you, not all grills are created equal. The Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers are built different, built better, and built to last, with features other grills can't match, complete with a lifetime warranty. It's a great time to find out for yourself because Napoleon's Pro Summer Blast is on right now. Save up to $400 today on a Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Grill. Become the envy of your neighborhood. Offer ends July 31st, 2025. Visit your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply and get grilling today on your new Napoleon Prestige Pro Grill. Napoleon Stainless Steel Grills, simply the best.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Save $12,000 off MSRP. Every new 2025 Silverado 1500 5.3 liter at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy after all rebates. And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. Plus $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Super Center. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Excludes work truck. Must trade in 2011 Chevy car or truck. Not available with special financing, leasing, some other offers.
Made a great deal of Maida.
negativity. LFG. Someone else 916 says, I don't mind bringing in Kuminga, but not if we're losing DeMar. That's crazy talk. DeRozan is a proven all-star and a professional scorer. The reason the Warriors are not hot on Kuminga is because of his IQ, kept making mistakes, couldn't follow the plays. That's why he was benched. It doesn't matter if he's the most athletic player in the league. He's delusional to think he should be a starter in the NBA. RC. He's delusional to think he should be a starter in the NBA.
Dang, RC said he's not even a starter.
I think every player in the NBA should think he's a starter in the NBA.
I would want my guy to think he's a star. I know for me personally.
Kings are once again kind of at those crossroads. Kuminga represents an opportunity to bring it all together and say, all right, everybody, we're going this way now.
Yeah. If nothing else, you reset the timeline a little bit.
Absolutely. You get younger, you address a positional need.
I'll ask you this, and obviously I can't ask that fan unless they want to call 916-339-1140. I said it again, and I want to say it one more time because we always have new listeners jumping on.
And by the way, they signed it. RC did sign it.
Yeah, shouts out to RC.
Yeah.
Was RC the one that talked about DeMar being the scorer? That was RC, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Shouts
that was
out
all
to
one. Yeah.
Okay. Love DeMar. But he's not part of this future for that much longer. You would also be showing respect to DeMar in the form of, you know what, fella? Probably got another 3, 4, 5 years left, depending on how far you want to play. You never know these days. People playing into their 40s. Let me do us all a favor. Let's reset some things. Let me go ahead and get you your money, and I'm going to allow you to do you too.
Mr. Perry, I appreciate that. Can I call you Scott?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but Scott.
SP, actually.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to send me somewhere to LA, great. But otherwise, I like it here. I want to be here. I don't see a lot of opportunities for you to send me somewhere where I'm going to win a championship. I mean, if there's some out there, let me know. But one good thing about being here, I like the direction in which we're headed, and I like being close to LA. I don't know where else you can send me where I get that.
Well,
what do you got?
Double D, can I call you that? Or Debo?
Debo.
All right, Debo.
Yeah.
You know we got number love for you here. You know California loves you just as much as Sacramento's got your back. All due respect, you know I've been around the league. Reputations are severely something that we take very serious around here. How about this?
By the way, I love your podcast.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you're a fan. I'm a fan of the game just as much as you. Matter of fact, Debo, I've been seeing you on Paul George's podcast too as of late. Love what you guys do. Matter of fact, when it's all said and done, we'll put together a podcast together. How about I pick up the phone and call the Goodwin brothers, and I have a conversation with them. Then they double back and have a conversation with you. Let's all come to the round table. I know you've had a little interest in Miami. I know you might have a little interest in maybe doubling back to San Antonio. I know you want to be closer to the family of both Los Angeles.
Yes.
I know you really want to stay on the West Coast.
I do.
I'm not sending you to Phoenix because that's all but out. I'd be doing you a disrespect to send you to Portland.
Yeah.
We're handcuffing
each
each
other.
other.
Back to Toronto. Yeah. I loved it there, but I don't like Drake anymore. We don't get along.
Then let me tell you something, Debo. Seeing that we got nothing but respect and we've had a great conversation.
This has been good.
I'm going to shoot it to you straight.
Okay.
The $25 million, it's movable. Getting you to LA, getting you to Miami, getting you to San Antonio, albeit I would hate to send you up the road to 80, but I know you want to stay on the West Coast. Right now, that's just not feasible. And I love your game. I love what you're bringing to the table. Would love for you to be here, be one of our leaders. Would love for you to be one of our veterans. Set the culture. We're building it. Brand new. I'm going to need you to work with me.
Doesn't really sound like you love it that much.
No, we do. It's a give and take. You talked about podcasts. I've offered you a job. I've offered you a finality of all of this.
Give and take, but I'm giving and you're taking.
No, because guess what? That check's still cashing.
That's true.
I'm going to need you to either come off the bench.
What?
Or we're going to need to change our perception of how we do things. Are you down with the calls?
I don't. I'm Debo. You see my numbers? I don't come off the bench. I didn't come here to come off the bench. You wouldn't know about that. You weren't here then. But that's not my problem.
Debo.
I did not come here to come off the bench.
Debo.
And for what?
You're a Hall of Famer.
So you can win 37 games?
Well, we don't know. I think if we push you to the bench and maybe go get a young fella that you can groom and you can push the narrative on. And also, if you want to be here, you want to be close to the family, we're giving you an opportunity to do that. I understand life ain't easy and decisions have to be made. I don't want to have to make them for you.
Who you got who can?
Let's change the narrative here.
Okay, change it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
You're soon to be Hall of Famer. I know you're friends with Carmelo Anthony. Came off the bench at the end of his career. You look around, Al Horford might be borderline Hall of Famer. Look like he's going to come off the bench up there. He has come off the bench. You ever heard of a guy named Jamal Crawford?
Scott, you ever heard of the internet? You have Basketball Reference? Look at their numbers at the end of their careers and look at mine. Look at my numbers. I'm not at that point of my career that they were at theirs when they were coming off the bench. And you know it.
But you're not equaling wins. We're trying to win around here.
Really?
So we're setting a culture. We're changing our culture. And I would love for you to be a part of it. So give and take here, Debo. I'm trying to give you a bag. I'm trying to keep you close to the family.
How many minutes per game? How many minutes I'm going to get?
Let me talk to Coach Christie about that. See if we can set a game plan for you to be the sting off the bench. See, if you work with me, I'll work with you.
Do you sidebar. I know there was suggestions that Mike Brown asked Debo to come off the bench last year.
Yeah.
And then he bristled at it.
Sure.
That was, I'm trying to think of the right word. I don't know that it was reported. So I think someone did report it. It wasn't confirmed.
Yeah.
And I know
it was like rumors
Mr. Draper. Yeah, Mr. Draper said, I don't think that really happened.
Yeah, I can't really remember that.
I was just going to ask your opinion. Do you think that happened? That would make sense to me that Mike Brown
I don't think
would
so.
have asked him or at least thought about it. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they've thought about it.
Yeah.
Why do you know this? When you're losing, man, you think of every which way you can win. I'm pretty sure they've probably thrown everything against the wall. I'm not, and as much as I play Scott Perry there, I'm not for DeMar coming off the bench. I think what you said is right. He brings so much to the table. But I do think if you're going to make the move for Kuminga, I'm pretty sure they've had a conversation. I have to believe DeMar is in the know if Kuminga comes to Sacramento in the form of we got Schroeder to be their point guard.
Yeah.
Levine is our 2. Keegan has got to start because he's got the length. Domas is our guy. He's the odd man out. I would imagine Scott Perry and Camp has had to have a conversation to say,
you have to.
We want to keep you. In what capacity, I'm not sure. But also the spin of that is, if it is not in the cards, because we love you, we respect you. I've been around the league longer than you have, and I got nothing but love for the reputation you've developed. How can I treat you right to make it right?
Right.
I think they've had to have that conversation by now.
You have to. It's bad business if you don't.
Yes. Yeah. Right. And then now we're falling down the rabbit hole of, here we go, the Kings being the Kings, right? So I'm hoping they have. I think you're right. I think you're right.
All right, we'll look at some 49er camp battles when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's. Right now, get a 4-piece GE kitchen suite for under $2,000. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt Max XR 8-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt tool. Save big with deals that work as hard as you do. Shop Pro Savings Days in-store or online today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 8/1. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit. For just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1. So you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A+ Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal. You should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Everybody knows that Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is the spot to get yourself a brand new car. That's why people are coming from all over. Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville. But they also have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles. All makes and models, every one of them top quality, hand-selected by General Manager Chuck Dean. Over 70 vehicles below $30,000, over 25 below $20,000. You can see that full lineup at SacSuperstore.com. And if you find a lower price somewhere else, they'll match it. And on top of that, the best car buying experience anywhere. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Drake's back with us tomorrow. He'll be a happy camper coming back to join you and me, Jay, from San Diego. Hope you're having a wonderful summer. The dog days are just about upon us here. We've talked a lot of Kings today. We haven't talked much about those San Francisco 49ers. They got the pads on and they're hitting. And Jay says, yeah, wake me up in another 2 months. The game started. I get that. By the way, Eli Apple.
And shorts, too.
Well, it's hot.
Is it?
Do you remember when they used to train up here. You're probably too young.
Yeah, Rockland?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, man.
That's crazy.
What do you mean?
I remember driving up there and thought, hey, Steve Young, how you doing?
Yeah, I was out and about, baby,
Yeah.
wiggling. I probably see him was like, oh, there go little White, there go OG Whitey.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I remember going up there one time and the big ruckus, all the talk was, Romanowski got into a fight with Jerry Rice today.
Yeah.
That used to happen in Rockland.
All the time, baby. Come
Yeah.
on now. I remember those days used to go up, had my grandmother was friends with a player's mother. Excuse me, a grandmother. And so she used to, I don't know how my grandmother used to get out there for whatever reason. She wasn't a big fan, but she was out there schmoozing. So I would also go with her too, man. It was good times, rocking with Big Grams.
Yeah.
And watching football, 49ers, man. Absolutely.
Really hot up there.
It is.
Yeah.
That's in the middle of nowhere.
Yes. This is from our friend
Especially
Matt
at
Barrows.
that time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 49er training camp competitions. You got some position battles, Jay. 1, safety. 2, nickel corner. 3, left guard. How come we are not talking at all about the 49er offensive line? Seems to me like the last 8 years, this time of year, all we're talking about is that offensive line. I don't know. No one's talking about the offensive line, but left guard, Ben Barch considered the favorite. That's a spot of some competition. 3rd receiver. I saw a report that the 49ers were going to extend Juwan Jennings, but I don't know that it was accurate because I haven't seen any confirmation.
Yeah, man. Don't be reading all that.
Yeah,
Jimmy
right.
Jazz and all that.
Weak side linebacker.
Yeah.
You got
Dean Winters.
You got your eye on that weak side linebacker.
A lot of
situation,
people
don't you?
today saw a lot of comments that said D. Winters was out there doing what he normally does in spring training, which is going sideline to sideline, showcasing his speed, big hits. He's like LaMelo. He's got to stay healthy, though. He's got to stay upright.
Yeah, Matt Barrows writes that weak side linebackers seemed like it might be the best battle of the summer after the Niners used an early 3rd-round pick on Nick Martin. The move, however, served as a wake-up call for D. Winters, who was perhaps the best player on the field in the spring and who took that momentum into training camp.
Yeah.
Number 6.
Missile.
Kicker.
I know. I saw it. Wait. Yesterday, I saw what's my guy? David Gray? What's his name? The kicker that's going against Moody?
Joseph. Pardon me.
Okay, there's a third one. Hold on. There's a third guy. I got to find it. There's a third guy, and they were talking about this third guy. So Joseph went 4 for 4. Moody went 3 for 4 and missed a 50-yarder or something, right? Then this third guy went 3 for 3.
Uh-oh.
And people are like,
we got to find out his name.
Yeah, I got to figure it out. Hold on. I saw somebody, I think it was Barrows too, that said that. And I was like, oh, man, come on. We got a third kicker, but the third kicker is there on some emergency basis, who's pretty much going to be kicking during the preseason a lot. So it's interesting. Hold on, I get his name. I'll find his name.
Yeah, this is interesting from Matt Barrows. He says the competition might simply come down to who's more accurate in preseason games. He says, keep an eye on the August 16th outing in Las Vegas. Moody missed 2 field goals there 2 years ago and had a mixed outing on the same field in the Super Bowl. But he thinks that Money Moody is going to end up as the kicker. 7 defensive tackle, 8 third running back, 9 swing tackle, and 10 third tight end.
So give it to me. Number 1 was what?
Safety.
Safety.
Okay. Yeah. Robert Saleh said last week, it is a wide open competition at safety, and then he added for emphasis at both spots. Pinnock and Grant are the favorites.
I don't know about that.
You think Robert Saleh is telling lies?
Yeah.
Telling stories?
Yeah. Mustafa's done everything that he's supposed to come back and be a starter, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know he's hurt.
Yeah, he's coming back from that ACL.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Jair Brown's hurt, as is Renardo Green, since we're talking about it. I think Mustafa will be the starter. I'm not sure who is the strong safety next to him, though.
Yeah. Matt Barrows points out that Jair Brown was a relatively high 49ers draft pick, but he wasn't drafted by Saleh. So being the incumbent is not necessarily going to win him any points.
Yeah, but you know what I'm reading is this. When you start to hear, well, Richie Grant, see, it'd have been different if you would have said, well, Mustafa and Richie Grant are the favorites. When you tell me Pinnock and Richie Grant are the favorites, to me, that's solid telling them youngsters, I got some veterans here and y'all need to kick it in gear.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe Mustafa is your free safety. Strong safety, I do believe, is in question. But if you're going to say Pinnock is going to be over Mustafa, nothing against him, but we're in trouble already.
Pinnock spent 2 training camps under Saleh with the Jets, 1 at corner, 1 at safety, knows the scheme. He's the only safety who's routinely worked with the first stringers since the spring. And again, a key to that, I know you know this, and we said this, Malik Mustafa is coming back still from an ACL injury.
Yeah.
So might not be ready to go.
No.
Opening day, Seattle on September 7th.
So they literally have the safety as the number 1 battle, huh?
Yeah, because of what the coordinator said. Wide open at both spots.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, have you heard about this back and forth between Terry Bradshaw and Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terry Bradshaw saying he doesn't belong here. He should go back to California and eat bark.
Yeah, that's Terry OG, you know.
And Aaron Rodgers said, I'd love to get to know him and meet him, and maybe we could eat some bark or whatever.
Where's he coming out with the bark?
It's a California slam, but it just doesn't
bark.
We're all tree huggers and we eat bark out here in California.
All right, man. See, he's from Louisiana, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can light that up a whole different, swamps and gator, and I mean, it's so many different things. But I love any type of issue that Aaron Rodgers is in, conflict.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's just interesting to me that rather than take shots back, he knows that, all right, Terry Bradshaw's a legend here.
No win.
I'm in Pittsburgh now. I've got to try to win some of these people over. So, I hope I get to know him. And deep down, Aaron Rodgers, that's the last thing he's really thinking, right?
Yeah, of course. That's why he's going to slide to the Hobbit cave. And he's going to speak on it to himself and get his mind right, get it clear, and then he'll slide on over and do what they do over Pittsburgh. There's a no-win situation if you're Aaron Rodgers trying to go back at Terry Bradshaw.
Right.
In Pittsburgh, no-win situation.
Right. Could he still be good, Jay? Could the Steelers be good?
Yes.
Could Aaron Rodgers lead the Steelers back to the Super Bowl, Jay?
I'm never say never.
Which is more likely, Aaron Rodgers gets the Steelers to the Super Bowl or Russ gets the New York Giants back to the Super Bowl? Russell Wilson.
Steelers have a decent team. Defensively, they're always pretty good. I know they changed running backs. Well, Najee's not there. They've moved up. They have some talent at Pittsburgh, and Mike Tomlin's a good coach. Man.
See, I'm getting Jay a little bit excited about football already.
No, not at all. I'm just talking about my job.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. Thanks for being with us.
Brother.
Drape's back with us tomorrow. Stick around. We got, I believe we've got
JR Sports Brief.
JR Sports Brief, one of my favorite shows next year. Thank you, Jay. Coming up on Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does